with Bay. I'm Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
And this is other Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk about Hidden.
Yay!
Our new favorite book.
Yeah, the 10th book in the House of Night series. Whoop-de-doo. I'm not even going to ask the jury because I'm pretty sure it's just fucking unanimous. We don't stand. This book is garbage.
The best part about reading these books, though, is this. Is this right here. We just bitch about it on the internet.
Yeah, it's the only thing they're good for. But, like, I also think this is unanimous, too. They're getting worse. And I don't know how it's possible. And why am I blurry? Thank you. They're getting so much worse.
Yes, they are.
And I said this to both of you, but at least with the first and second book, they had like a plot. There was like a thing, there was like set up and like something that someone eventually wanted to accomplish, and then we accomplished it. These books, like subsequently, it's just like pointless meandering, and then something I guess happens at like the last chapter, and then there's a stupid epilogue, and then we don't follow through on what happens in the epilogue in the next book. Rinse and repeat ad nauseum.
Yeah, like with most multi-book series. With most book series, there's the overarching plot, and then there's each book generally has a self-contained plot, and those plots generally feed into the overarching plot, but in some way. But and the first two did that. The first two plots, like the first three books had that.
And I'll say, like, different series do it to like a different degree, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and I don't want to use Jenny as like a good example, but it's just off the top of my head. The Jenny books, while they have self-contained plots, they very much tumble into each other way more than, for example, like the Harry Potter books. The Harry Potter books tumble into each other a lot, but their plots are super self-contained. And then there's books that are very episodic, like the Mercy Thompson series. So there's also like a spectrum of how this is done as well.
Yeah, I honestly think that they were just going, do you know what TV format goes well with this series? Let's try that. Because it feels like you're reading a TV series.
It really does.
But
it really does, but not in a way that works, because for example, a way that would work is like the Mercy Thompson books would be like a season of a TV show.
Yeah, each book is a season. Whereas this entire series is a season.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh my God.
So if
every book is an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you were gonna, and so like there are ways when you're planning out a series to think about it in movie or TV format, because that can actually be super helpful. So if you want to think of it that way, you can think of it as, okay, this is a season of a TV show. And you can think like, okay, how do I want to plan that out? So like 3 books could be like a season of a TV show, and you could pace it accordingly with having like rising action and then like have a dip and then rise and have a dip, and like that could work. Or you could do it like the way that the Mercy Thompson books do it. Just don't do this.
Because don't have each book being an episode.
And honestly, it's like a couple episodes in like a book, it feels like sometimes. But also sometimes less or more. It depends. But
like the other thing... I think this book was 2 days. I really think it was just 2 days.
The other thing is that...
last book was the longest... time frame. It was 5 days.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we are 10 books in, and after 10 books, I can't think of another series where we haven't moved the fuck on to something else.
I know, like we're still just fighting Nefret for some fucking reason.
Like I mean, at least in Harry Potter, like it had the Voldemort was the big bad of Harry Potter from book 1 to book 7.
But there was
always something else.
Yes, there was always. That's why, like I say, Harry Potter is very episodic in nature. Like it's because it's like the Mercy Thompson series kind of a way in that it's very episodic, but also there's this big overarching plot. So all the episodes fill into the overarching plot, and it works, and that's why it works as a movie franchise rather than like a TV show.
Yeah.
So
Harry Potter as a TV show would not.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't work because it doesn't work that way. But
there's too much.
Yeah, but it works better to think of it as like a movie franchise because it all just bleeds into each other while still being very episodic. But this, it's just like there's nothing new. We're just standing around.
It's the same thing over and over again.
And we're not even trying to kill Nefret. Nobody wants to.
No one's even suggested it.
Yeah, nobody's
and
even
it's the easiest solution. It's the only solution.
Nobody's like, what if we went? So we're in Oklahoma, which is a red state. What if we bought a gun and just?
Well, they didn't even need to do that. They could have just said, "Hey, Stark, grab
shoot an arrow.
No, grab your quiver, not arrow holder.
I know.
Not arrow holder.
I have that as a note.
Yeah. Grab your bow, grab your quiver, pull an arrow from said quiver. Think, I really want to shoot Nefret through the chest. And this has to be done pre-immortal Nefret, because she's immortal now, so they're fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
But
they could have done this.
And then they could have just gone, and the arrow would go, and dead and
then you
done.
shoot another one into her head, and then you shoot.
Even now, they
could through each of her eyeballs.
Yes,
they could still inconvenience her.
They could blind her. The eyeball thing would still work.
But they don't even try.
And perhaps, and I don't know. Okay, I don't know much about vampire physiology and immortal physiology in this series, but
neither do Casey and Kristen Cash.
But I would be like, hey, Stark, we might not be able to kill her, but let's see if we can get her into a permanent vegetative state. Shoot arrows into her brain
give me
repeatedly.
My bow. And they're like, no, you can't have it. And he's like, but I could do something. This is my gift from the gods.
I know. He's like, I could just rapid fire like all day.
Yeah.
What if he just spent like an hour yeeting arrows into Nefret? Like what?
Like into every part of her body, just like make her a pincushion.
Death by 1,000 arrows. Like what if we tried it? Like how many arrows can an immortal take? Nobody's even attempted.
Like he doesn't like he's a pretty badass archer, right? Badass archers can shoot more than one arrow at a time. Like pull 3 back.
3?
Pull
and then
2.
Go.
If you can't miss, three arrows at a time.
You could just probably end up throwing them into the air without the bow at all, and they would just go. Honestly,
like, let's do
it. That would be a much more entertaining read as well. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
and then I'd like to be in Nefret's perspective.
No. You know what the perspective would be? The arrow.
The next arrow.
The arrow flitted through the sky, and it wondered aloud. And it said aloud, "Will I ever reach my target? What if the other arrow doesn't love me? But will she love me? Is she a good arrow? Am I a good arrow?"
And then it will say, "Spirit, come
Wind, come to me. Carry me to my target so that I may be worthy of her love."
I'd read that.
And honestly, I'd stand.
Because at least it'd be like making fun of themselves. But no, they're serious.
Yeah, I gave myself a challenge today, and I think I succeeded. I wondered if I could merge circle casting and the rhyming together at a standard that is worthy of PC and Kristen Cast. How do you think I did, Bae?
You did it, and I thought it was real. I was like, yeah, that's the thing. I was like, that's an actual excerpt, and I don't want to read it again. I don't like it. Also,
I mean,
what do you say?
I'm not gonna lie. I did have to look up what rhymed, like words to rhyme with water and spirit, just to try and find a word that would work.
But like that's pretty normal when you're trying to rhyme stuff. But like another thing that happened in this book that I guess we can just talk about now is like they get meta in a way that doesn't work. So, for example, characters within the book call them the nerd herd when there's no reason to call them that. Like Aphrodite calls them that, and that's it. And they call them that on the back of the book. But like Shaylin calling them that makes no sense. Because she wouldn't be like, yeah, the
She's
nerd
also
herd.
been here like 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's like she wouldn't even know that word probably existed unless
Yes.
Aphrodite said it 15 times.
So it doesn't make sense, and it's weirdly meta. It would be like, I don't even know what it would be like characters within the Rosieverse calling it the Rosieverse when they've never heard it before, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's just weird and out of character.
Yeah. I think yeah, I don't like that like they start self-identifying as the nerd herd.
Same.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, it makes sense to put it on the back of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah, because it's easy. It's like when you call something like the core 4 characters, or like the the main character, like the main group. So,
Right.
whatever.
Like I call like when I'm talking to you guys and I'm referring to, for example, Rosalie, Ryder, Wes, and Jenna, I call them the core 4. But if they were like, we are the core 4, that'd be fucking weird.
Yeah,
it'd
right?
be like in My Little Pony if they started referring to themselves as the main 6.
Right.
Let's
Because
go My Little Pony, because why not?
yeah, well, yeah, but like you would be like, wait, what? No, that's what we call you, and we're confused because you don't call
can't
you
call
that.
yourself. They have a mind of their own. Remember,
Yes, they do.
the characters are.
PC has no
beings.
control. No, PC has no control over what the characters do. Okay,
Hi,
she starts
Pat.
to write, and they're like, "No, we're not doing this." Hi. Yeah, she's like, "No." They're like, "No, fuck this stuff." Stark's like, "No, I don't want to bang Stevie. I want to bang Zoe." Okay, done. Zoe.
Because everyone wants to fuck Zoe.
Also, Pat, the Blades of Redwater is pre-ordered. There is link in description.
Chiz, buy it, please. Thank you.
And this book has another prime example as well of if you are not 100% Team Zoe, you are evil and therefore public sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it happened so fast.
It was so we'll get to it because I have it in notes and it's in order. But
we have so many notes, dude.
I know, it's just like, you know, the catalyst for this change of this character happened literally like 3 days.
And I have so many notes about it.
Yeah, people don't change that much in 3 fucking days.
No, they don't.
Oh,
and
we're talking about Aaron.
What?
We're talking about Aaron.
We would get to it. We would get to
that was
it.
the most fucking annoying thing.
Also, real quick, I tweeted about this, but and Maggie, to answer your question, because you asked me, but I tweeted this, but Maggie got me the entire Nevernight series, and he got me the first edition of God's Grave, which is the second book, and it's signed, and then he pre-ordered me Dark Dawn, which is also signed. So I have 2 signed copies of books from one of my favorite authors, which has me super excited, and I have a full hardcover trilogy, and it's my first full hardcover series, and I'm super excited. And to answer your question, it is, so the other thing is at the post office, but because it was too big to fit in my P.O. box, I have to go get it Monday. Yeah. So that's what happened. But should we get into a
plot
so that we can just talk about all this in order?
Yeah, so this is understandable anger.
Yeah, because we're just like... All right.
I have no words.
Oh, my first note is we haven't said this, but it makes me mad that it's Macmillan Audio by.
Yeah.
That's my first note is it makes me mad that it's Macmillan Audio.
Oh. Okay.
I will not have my last name associated with this book.
It upsets me.
Oh.
But
oh, sorry. I was like, what's the problem with Big Melon Audio? I get it now. I'm sorry.
yeah,
It's late. I've had a rough couple of days. Okay.
It's okay.
I was up all last night with a vomiting child. Leave me alone.
You're fine. So then, chapter 1. It's from Lenobia's perspective. My first note is fucking why.
Mine is fucking Lenobia. Because if you want to know what happens in chapter 1, go watch our stream from Tuesday.
Yes.
That's it. That's what happens. It's just a fucking.
Yeah, it's a dream. Like we get one new piece of information. We find out what happens to the Gree. It crumbled.
And the barn's on fire. And that's it. It's literally all that fucking happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do get we get the follow up from like in the last full book. Neferet's like gets told she has to sacrifice a beast, and we have her sacrificing said beast.
Yeah. So my notes. Oh, sorry.
Dragon's cat, which is Dragon's cat.
Yes.
Yep.
So my notes for this are, why did we read this? And he's not her mate. What the fuck? The way he talks is the worst. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Do you understand how many people are a fan of horses? And you can be attracted to more than one person. Jesus fucking Christ, this universe is nonsensical. Everyone but Zoe isn't allowed to fuck more than one person. Genuinely, why are we watching this in any other book? It would be done subtly and you'd notice it in the background because Lenobia is a teacher, and also this plot makes no sense. The world is ending and supposedly Nefret is evil and everyone knows it, but we're still in class and nothing makes sense. How is this? I don't know. And I just slammed my keyboard.
Shut down. Like in real life, the school would have been shut down when Anastasia, not Anastasia, it was when Lauren and the other professor died.
And
Prof P.
No.
Prof P.
No, it was the drama teacher.
Oh yes, you're right.
Nolan.
Yeah, so
Nolan and Lauren died. That would have been.
They died. The school would have been shut down.
Yeah, because they were decapitated.
They were beheaded, and head was on a stake
on school grounds.
Yes.
And then I said, "Why are we watching a cat in Nefret? Like, you can tell us she dead's a cat without this."
They told us. I literally wrote, "Why do we need this to see this shit was resolved at the end of the last book?" That was not coherent because I was that irritated.
I'm trying to think of. This isn't me justifying it. I'm trying to think of where they
came from. Yeah,
I think it was once just because we can see that Nefret's evil.
Well, that's just
she's killing a cat.
She's evil.
I know.
It's just know.
This isn't me. This is them, okay?
I'm yelling at them because that was already in my notes.
Yeah. Two, we have to know how the fire started because one of her little darkness tendrils accidentally knocks over a lamp.
We know how the fire started.
And three, we had to have, like, at the end, Nefret didn't notice that Guinevere followed Shadowfax into the burning stable. So we had to know that Guinevere went in there too, even though we would have found out when they found the dead cat.
That's exactly the thing, and that's just like the thing about how they do the reveals. Real quick, though, also a note on Travis's voice. So Travis was talking a certain way, but then after after it's officially confirmed that he's Martin,
Yeah, he was a little bit more country in the last book.
But he didn't talk. But he didn't have like a Creole accent. Okay.
No, and.
Now he talks exactly like Martin.
Martin doesn't have a Creole accent either.
What? Okay.
Have you noticed as well in the dream flashbacks? Yes. Did you notice as well in the dream flashback of this, we heard him say word for word about like the whatever the fuck he said to her in that scene. His voice changed between the two books.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Is like his voice changes from what it was last book, which is Travis's voice.
No. Martin in Lenobia's Vow, and then the dream flashbacks she had at the beginning of this book.
The recap.
Right.
Yeah, the inflections were completely different to the book she just narrated.
Yeah.
That's so
but like,
bitch.
But like in addition to that, she does do a different voice for Travis and Martin until it is revealed that it's Martin reincarnated.
Yeah, his voice isn't going to change. He's still an oaky cowboy.
Right. But then they're like, oh no, he's a Louisianan for like the 17. I'm like, no, he's not. Why are you?
Yeah.
He's still white.
Yeah. Can I also just need to say as well, like, again, they have zero faith in their audience, right? This is a good example. Like, Lenonia damn well fucking knows. Like, we hear her say she won't lose him again. She's found him again. She won't lose him again.
Yeah.
When she kisses him when he's getting wheeled off into the ambulance, she's like, you know, I waited 284 years to find him, or however long it was. Mm-hmm. But then Zoe looking through the seer stone and being like, oh my god, it's a black man. It's supposed to be like this big epic reveal, but it's like Lenobi already knows.
She confirmed that, in chapter 2.
But Lenobia reacts in a way that she's like, oh my god, I didn't know.
Yeah, well,
I'm so glad.
In any other book, how it would have been done is that Lenobia would have been a fucking teacher. And so we wouldn't have been following her because she's a teacher. And it would have been happening in the background. So you would have been like, okay, Lenobia banging the stable boy up top. All right. Anyway. And then she would have seen it in the seer stone and you would have been like, oh. And then after that, Lenobia's vow would come out. Not before this book, but after it, because then it'd be like, here's a short story.
Yeah, it wouldn't have even been a book. It would have been a free online short story.
Or part of an anthology, because like, you know, you get like this cute anthology later on in the series of like all these little backstories because of the things that were revealed to like Dragon and Anastasia short story, like all that kind of stuff. And it'd be fun. It should be a fun thing. Like those short stories, unless like it warrants a novella or something longer. And that's fine if it does. But short story, it should be fun. Like that should be fun. And it's not.
No.
And it upsets me.
Like I think out of the 4 novellas, I think Colonna's is the most relevant for us to see and read.
Because we haven't seen anything thus far about him and Nyx together, and I think that's what it's about, right?
The only scene that we've had is when he was banished and like Nyx was like, you know, like a cold bitch to him, and we actually find out in that his resentment had warped the memory a bit. I actually think they changed their minds about the memory, but like it works though. But also, I still don't even think that warrants a full novella. I think that also can just be a short story.
Like I want to do Shifting Shadows because I've read some of the short stories in there, and they're fun because some of them are characters you've met, some of them aren't. And it's fun because it's like extra little bits of the Mercy Thompson universe. And it's fun. Like you don't need it, but it's fun. And it should be fun. Like you should be having fun. But none of this is fun. This part's fun. But like reading it's just not fun. You know?
No.
And so so the first chapter, my summary is nothing. Because also if you read the last book.
Exact same thing.
Yeah, chapter 2 is that she sees the barns on fire and she's like, oh no.
Yeah. And her and Nicole get all the horses out. And
because Nicole's changing now.
Yeah. And then
because also like if you read the last book, chapter 1 is a recap, and also you're just watching the exact same thing. And it's like seriously?
Yeah, no, chapter 1 in this book was literally the first half was a recap, the second half was, you know, anything that we could have, you know, just assumed happened.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, in chapter 2, we get this moment. Horses, come to me.
We did, didn't we?
Literary geniuses over there.
Horses are now an element.
She has an affinity for horses. Didn't you know that?
So does that mean that, like, Jack could have been like, nanny cams, come to me? Because his affinities
come to me.
His affinities for nanny cams. That's all we saw.
And then he also knows how to press play on a CD player. Okay.
And they were like
CD players press play
because they were like, he has an affinity for technology. He can set up nanny cams and press play on a CD player.
And he knows how to access the Twitter thing.
And also, just real quick, in about 3 months, a little less, we have gone from CD players being relevant to iPhones. I just want everybody to know that. Like, I know we've talked about it, but just reiterate, the timeline is fucked.
Well, yes. Also, you know what? I also think they put a lot more effort into characters like little quirks in the first couple books as well. Remember the first book? Zoe was obsessed with cereal. She even had an I Heart Cereal shirt. I think it's a stupid quirk to give your character to the extent that they did.
Weird. Yeah.
However, has that ever come up since?
In this book, it did.
In this book, it
does. Well, in this one, it was like, have some cereal, and she's like, I'll have some Count Chocula.
And then I made the note, Count Chocula is not available this time of year.
Yeah,
maybe they stocked up.
It's confirmed February now. They say in this book that it is now February.
Okay, so end of.
We started this like 2 days.
So we're 3 months. Yeah. So it's been going for 3 months. Because if it's February, it's the very beginning of February.
Which means is that like they know. You know.
They know. They're aware. This series should have taken something from Harry Potter and made every book a school year.
Yeah. Or even if they'd made every book 2 months.
Or like something.
Or even 2 weeks with like a gap in between each book.
Well,
that would have
we should be in our 3rd year of high school by now.
Well, because even the fact that like she's not okay, and maybe it makes sense because of how long her and Eric were together. Because it was like, you know what? Not even
2
that.
months off screen that they were
because
together.
It was 2 months off screen. Her relationship was the most technically in depth with Eric. She's been with Stark for like at least a week?
I think a month.
Yeah,
almost a month.
Like
3 weeks to a month.
Although they died together, so whatever.
Yeah, no, their bond does make sense.
Yeah, their bond does make sense. But like the fact that
initially it didn't, it does now though.
Yes,
but the fact that like she feels nothing for Eric is so unrealistic.
Yeah,
it's not even funny.
Yeah, and I really don't like what the authors have done to Eric. Like literally, what was his big flaw? Just hey Zoe, can you maybe stop banging other guys?
And then they're like, he's a terrible person, and then everybody thinks he's a terrible person.
Yeah, and he's just an arrogant jerk and this and that, and all he does is bitches and moans, and it's just like,
no, he doesn't. Like, and he really doesn't. He's just like, I'd rather not be a tracker. And they're like, how dare he?
Here, I'd rather do my dreams and do my career.
And he's also like,
LA.
And also this place is a mess. And honestly, I don't want to be a part of it. And they're like, ooh!
He doesn't have anything special about him. So, like, there's no reason that he should be here.
Well, he does. He's a talented actor. That's what he wants to go do.
Well, yeah, that's what's special about him.
Let the boy live.
It's not like he has an affinity for acting.
Also, he's 19. At 19, if my affinity acting come to me, like, you know, he's 19.
Dialogue come to me.
Just let it happen, you know? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, everybody's a bitch to him, you know? It's like, and then also these characters get mad when they're mean to people, and then people are like, well, fuck you too. They're like, well, how very dare you? I feel like if Faye and I ganged up on Addie, we were like, come to book club. We would like you to be here. And then we were like, also, you're a terrible person. Your glasses are dumb and we hate your hair. She'd be like, you know, maybe I don't want to come back to book club. And we were like, well, how dare you? You have a bad attitude.
Absolutely dare you. We are absolutely awesome.
And we were like, 1, you have a bad attitude. 2, how dare you suggest that we were wrong in saying that? 3, how dare you not want to come back? And 4, on top of that, we think you're a slut and a bad person. I think she'd be like, I don't feel like I'm in the wrong here. And we would be like, and then also that is another flaw of yours. Like,
and then the chat would be like, oh my God, Addie's such a bitch. Because that's what
exactly. Like, we would just have a gaggle of people like, yes, we stand not Addie. And then it'd be like, and Addie would be like, what the fuck? I think she'd have a right to be like, what the fuck? You know?
Also, why is Eric staying at the fucking depot? Why is Eric there?
Because you're evil if you don't want to live in tunnels. That's a sign of evil.
Yeah.
If you, I was like, I texted Faye, I was like, I don't want to live in tunnels either.
I mean, if it would depend, right? Because like they purchased the whole building, so what they're gonna, and it has been mentioned that they're gonna put like bedrooms upstairs too.
Well, they're gonna. It's not renovated yet.
No, I know, but like it could be kind of fun to like stay in a tunnel if it's like a short-term thing, and tunnels being like done up kind of like the way they've done it up. But also, if you're in the tunnel, you know what you get? You get first fucking dibs on a room when the rooms are built.
That's true. So, like, I think it would just really depend. But then also you have to live with Zoe.
Your ex-girlfriend, and Aphrodite, your other ex-girlfriend, and Shaylin, the girl that you want to bang but is not gonna bang you.
Yeah, like
because she gets a new lover next book.
Then okay, so chapter 3.
Yes.
Zoe, and then my note is, "Hi Zoe, thanks for the fucking recap." And then why is Zoe jealous of Eric?
My first note is, do we only have one wall? Because they only talk about the east wall. They never talk about any other wall. So
I think they're. I mean,
I guess. They spoke about one other wall when they had to break out of the school the night Anastasia died.
Well, you know how like in Harry Potter we slowly explore more of the school.
Yeah,
we just don't
find
do that.
more, and it's
don't
like,
do that.
I mean, I know that this isn't like a huge giant castle that has like endless possibilities of cool shit.
What about the North Wall? Like Addie just pointed out.
Yeah, why can't we chill out? You know, at the South Wall even. The South Wall could be fun.
Yeah. And yes, Maggie, I do agree. I like having Addie here for book club. Yes. It is fun.
Only right to bitch about my favorite book as a 14-year-old.
Yes. And
how much has changed in 8 years.
And then I just said,
right?
And then I also said, can we chill the fuck out with Nicole? Also, stop acting like brats. You were all reformed.
Yeah, right.
Like, they are so judgy about everybody who's evil. They're like,
can I just say as well, like Stinger is like, she tried to kill me, and it's just like, your boyfriend killed Dragon, and you had Dragon's wife, and you had the shits with Dragon, for not being like, oh, that's cool, Rafame, we buds now.
You tried to eat Heath.
Yep, and that just seems to be a massive theme. Like, and Rafame seems to be the only one that gets it. He's really the only one that doesn't like out of the core group.
It makes sense.
Yeah, he's like, to be fair, I did some bad shit too, and they're like, you apologized, okay? We're cool now.
Like 50% of the people in their friend group are reformed evil people, but they're all just like, I don't feel like evil people can be reformed. Oh my God, they're reforming.
I do have a question. Is Rafame actually her warrior, or are we just referring to him as such because we can?
I think it's just because he's male. I mean,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, he's apparently when his human form apparently is very Native American warrior looking. So I'm just guessing by default he
just is.
Penis. Oh no.
Yeah. I thought you were just.
Damn it! Why am I frozen?
I thought you were just giving up, and you were just sitting like that.
I mean, I have. But what the fuck? This is incredibly upsetting. What do I do?
I don't know.
Me either. Let's try this. There we go.
Yay!
I'm back. Okay. I was like, this is.
What did you do?
I just like switched it to the built-in webcam and then switched it back.
Okay.
So I was like,
whoops.
I don't know how to fix it. God, it's so bad. Okay. What the fuck is the rhyme with the rhyming? We didn't rhyme before. This is another meta thing this is what the other meta thing I was going to mention. So in addition to starting to refer to them as like the main six or the nerd herd or whatever, or the core four, even though they don't do that, before Dragon's Oath, nobody rhymed, but now they rhyme. They don't know to rhyme.
Everyone
it wasn't part
rhymes.
of their character traits or a part of the universe, but now they rhyme. Because the authors were like, ooh, I like rhyming. Save it for another series, bitch. This is the thing. Write down the idea, make it a note, pin it to your wall, and save it.
Or just forego the rhyming. Like, because they mainly do the rhyming in spells, but again, any spell that isn't in an ancient language sounds retarded.
Yeah.
It sounds cheesy, it sounds corny, it sounds like like just take a note from like the best freaking shows that have done spells and do it in Latin. Okay? Everything sounds smarter in Latin.
Yeah, or literally any other language.
Yeah. Rhyming just sounds stupid in English.
Like the occasional German spell, like you can get away with that too, depending on the spell, especially if it's an angry one, because it's an angry language, you know.
Yeah, or like I did this in Yorta. I just described the language and didn't write anything down.
That works too.
Yeah, I was like, words are being said. Don't worry about it. And it's not a problem. Important. Like, it's fine. Okay? Everything's fine. Everything is fine and nothing matters. All right?
Yep.
We don't and it's like everything is so talky.
Yeah, well there's also just, you know, the wild idea of, you know, not having magic, not having to have words to them at all as well. It's the same with like the calling of the elements. You don't have to say fire come to me every time you want fire. You just like
yes they do.
And we know that they don't.
Yeah.
Well, I was telling my mom about it because she was asking why I was so upset. I was like, here are a number of things. Everybody talks to them like here, and also like I'm as an author, I talk to myself a lot out loud, but also it's not because I'm like trying to work. I'm not like, but does thou love me? And dost I want to accept him into my life? Am I worthy? And dost I want to care for the god? And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, shut up.
This is in a Shakespearean play, okay?
Yeah, people monologues
are relevant literally only in plays.
Yeah. But everybody monologues.
Only plays.
It's so dumb.
And have you I honestly think they only ever really talk to themselves out loud though, so someone can overhear the last part and go and start, and it's just like everyone just stop. If you don't want your shit known, stop talking out loud, okay? Just because everyone, as soon as you talk out loud when you're alone, someone's gonna come and overhear in this series. They should know that.
So, in this chapter, Zoe is like, what if we all just died? And I'm like, let's do it.
I literally wrote, yes, Zoe, give up and die.
And that idea, I stan.
I kind of love Kelowna because he's just a sassy motherfucker.
Because he gives zero fucks.
Yeah, he really does.
Like, y'all are so beneath me, and I'm doing you a favor with my presence. Like, that's Kelowna. And
you should be blessed
I love it.
To be in front of me.
Exactly. And so my other notes for this are, we already know it's a cat. Why is this even a thing? Don't show us Nefer earlier. This doesn't matter. We don't need to watch this. And then who cares about Heath Jr.? He only gave you tissues. That's not like a soul thing. What the hell? And then I said, embrace your suicidal feelings. And then I said, also in this universe, they could actually explore the fact that their religious thing, that their religion introduces the issue of suicide being a better option because like the afterlife is really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like a better option. Like you could just yeet yourself and wait till the whole Nephra thing is over to come back.
And then be reincarnated.
Yep.
And like, but they don't even worry about the fact that they've introduced this problem, but they bring it up. But again, the casts are too, this is the thing. The casts introduce interesting situations, but because they're too dumb to know it, they just yeet it. And then there's a line in here that bugged the crap out of me. Zoe like goes into Stark's arms and then she goes, and then he just loved me. And I'm like, so you fucked right there? Like, what the?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's the same phrase when they have sex.
They fucked in public. Zoe's evil.
Well, I mean, we knew that.
Zoe's evil confirmed.
Yeah.
And chapter 4 is just Heath Jr. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we doing this? I don't care. Heath Jr. Please kill her. Please kill her. Why the fuck would you put lavender and chocolate?
He's like hanging out with Zoe's grandma.
Yeah. And also, I get that lavender is her personality.
But does it have to be the only part of her? Like, seriously, she's got two personality aspects. She's the Gigua, or however the fuck they pronounce it in this book. I don't know the actual pronunciation because it's changed. And she does lavender.
Yeah, she doesn't need to eat it, though.
Like,
is eating lavender a thing?
You can make lavender tea.
You can make tea out of anything.
That's to put you to sleep, though. Like,
yeah.
Is that what the chocolate's for? To put you to sleep?
Chocolate has caffeine.
Yeah, so I guess you just eat those out.
Lavender recipes. I'm gonna say what we can make with lavender. Lavender lemon bars, lavender muffins, lavender cookies.
Is that safe?
Lavender lemonade.
It's a plant. It's
just I guess it is, but I'm just like
lavender ice cream?
What the
lavender chicken? Lavender fried chicken.
Oh, you lost me at lavender fried chicken. I was on board all the way. Because I fucking love lavender.
How the fuck do you lavender chicken?
I just don't know that I'd want to eat it.
I'm looking at this actual recipe now. I want to see the lavender and the fucking...
Also...
No, it's okay. The lavender with the fried chicken is just for serving, so it's like just a plate.
Oh, it's just a garnish?
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
I mean, also I probably wouldn't lavender garnish my food because again, it's like
lavender's very strong.
But it's also scientifically proven to relax you and put you to sleep. You don't want that when you're serving food.
Yeah.
Dinner is supposed to be lively, people.
Also, just to be annoying, lavender isn't native to the Americas. She brought an invasive species. That's what she's farming.
Also, apparently she's also, like, a lavender farm is like acres of land.
And then...
How the fuck did you take care of it by yourself?
And I just like to point out, natives are usually not fans of invasive species.
But, again, also, who needs acres of lavender? I've never thought about this before.
Well, it's to sell it, I guess.
I know, but how much lavender can one old lady sell?
A lot. They like where I did undergrad has that kind of situation.
But like you said as well, though, like how does she do it all herself? Like
that's also true.
It's implied that her lavender farm is more of a hobby.
Yeah, but
which
she has
it would be a full-time job.
Yeah, no.
And she's
honestly
a old woman.
And acres, like even an acre-sized lavender farm is more than too much work for one person.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Especially if it's a woman in the late 50s.
Yeah. Also in this chapter, Rafam attacks Heath Jr. in bird form, and I laughed a lot. And then he goes into this hole in the ground under the east wall. Under the tree, the broken tree.
And honestly, I was just like, and I think Addie and I talked about this, but we need to just tear up the tree and get rid of it. That tree's a fucking
I'm pretty sure that's what Oros was thinking when he's like, why is this broken tree still what's it doing here? Why? Every other tree here is pretty and this one's just broken, and then he falls.
Well, I think that tree's just, like we said, I think this tree is just cursed.
Well, it's also, it is magic because it teleported Kelowna from, Georgia/Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's a magic tree.
Okay. Then
Chapter 5. We're still not over Heath.
Oh yeah, dreams and shit. Zoe's yelling Heath's name, and then Stark is like, "Why?" And I said,
Stark is very reasonably like, "Hi, wake up! You're screaming another guy's name in your sleep," and I don't really appreciate that as your boyfriend. And then she's like, "Oh my god, he's crazy! He's a crazy boyfriend."
No, I think I think if I started calling out my ex-boyfriend's name when I was in bed with Stixie, I think he would be a bit miffed, and I think he'd have every right to be a bit miffed.
Yeah, that's exactly how my boyfriend would be too. It's not okay.
I mean, that said as well, though. I mean, like, considering Heath did die violently in a way that caused Zoe's soul to shatter, I think Stark could have been like, "Are you okay? Are you having PTSD dreams or something?" Like, there's also that, but that didn't even cross.
She has PTSD.
Yeah, that didn't even cross Zoe's mind, though.
Yeah, and if it didn't cross her mind, I don't give a shit. Also, and then we get into like Shaylin.
Oh my gosh! And Zoe's like, "I don't get this color stuff." And
because Shaylin's like, "I see."
I don't know. Tried.
I see colors, and your colors are weird. And they said it last book that it was we know it's an aura.
And Aphrodite calls it an aura this book as well, because when she holds up the mirror, she's like, "Check out your own fucking aura, bitch." But
everybody's acting like it's not an aura. It's an aura. Why don't? But they're like, I don't know what the colors are. It's weird. We don't know what the colors are. What do they mean? We don't know what they are. How do you not know what an aura is? It's so fucking frustrating because they're like, the colors. What do the colors mean? It's a fucking aura. But everybody's acting like it's not an aura, and like they don't know what auras are. And it's just so weird because they're like, what can Shaylin do? We don't know. You know what she could do. And they really have to go ask about it. It's like, fucking go.
Now that runs over, are you done?
For now, until we talk about it again.
It goes on for so long.
I know.
Yeah, and Zoe's like, "I'm so confused about what you're saying," and I'm like, "What she's saying is not confusing whatsoever. I'm not confused reading it."
Yeah,
it's like nothing she's saying is confusing.
And one thing, we already know Zoe has an IQ of a teaspoon.
Yeah, like, everybody else, because everybody else is like, I don't know what it is.
Except for
but Shaylin says like something bitchy to Aphrodite about her aura, and then and then a minute later she's like, "Okay, no, I did a lie. It actually means this." And so it's like, see, this is why I'm concerned, because she don't seem to know what you're saying, and she's like, "I literally just said I was just being a bitch."
Yeah,
I knew what her aura meant.
In a serious situation,
I was just trying to hurt her.
Yeah. And then also everybody's mad at Aphrodite for not really liking Shaylin. But Aphrodite's, like, Shaylin was mean to her. And then Aphrodite's
But also, Aphrodite is a relatively private person.
Yeah.
And there's this chick standing there that's like, "Oh, I can see everything about everyone. And guess what? I don't make a secret of what I see about them. Like, I'll go up to someone and say, 'You're this color, and this means this.' And it's like, that's none of your fucking business, bitch."
Yeah. But everybody's like, "Wow, Aphrodite, you're a terrible person." And Aphrodite's just like, "I'd rather you didn't."
Even though Zoe even says to it, it's a bit rude. Like, it's a bit rude you going up and talking about people's colors. And in the last book, she was like, "This is fucking weird. This makes me uncomfortable," all that crap. Aphrodite's just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does amuse me though when Aphrodite just starts going, it puts the lotion in the basket, and from that point on she just starts referring to her as it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's funny.
And then when did Aphrodite have time to get champagne? Why is there school? There is a fire.
Yeah, but
can we also do like this happens later? But like later on, they're like, oh, so those people that are doing equestrian studies, do we still go to them and fucking what's her fucking name? Thanatos is like, yes, you do still go, and instead of riding horses, you'll be doing manual labor.
Yep.
It's just like no, I will not be clearing
anymore.
Yeah, I would not be clearing. I will not be lifting, like carrying barn debris if that's all. Like if it's all the same to you. Yeah, I wouldn't. This also, is work for a professional.
I don't get the point of why they're still having classes happen in the background, anyways, because they skip all of them. Like our nerd herd, they don't go to class. It doesn't matter. So might as well.
But Zoe never skips class, guys. Even though she skips class every book.
Like, might as well make it a valid excuse and just say classes have been canceled, because they would be, at the very least, they would be canceled.
My summary for 5 is dreaming and then pretending we don't know what auras are.
Yeah, and then chapter 6 is Nefret's press conference, which I was actually like, okay, Nefret.
Well, right. I was like, one of my notes for this is, let's be honest, it's a Christmas miracle that we haven't watched this fucking press conference from Nefret's POV, and then we go to Nefret's POV and they ruined it.
Yeah, and then she's trying to like fuck.
I mean, at least we didn't
fuck Aphrodite's dad.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And he's like, I need to leave.
Like you just said, at least we didn't read it first, but then after we'd had the reveal, we have to go over there and be like, see, Nefret's evil. And Nefret's a moron, and they're a moron because Nefret's like, wait, this politician wants to do politics? I thought he'd want to kill people openly. Why would she think that?
She's, because she's evil and therefore everything must be evil.
Yep.
It's so stupid.
Yep.
And then in all caps, why is she rhyming?
Yeah, I literally said, why are we singing to people?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's also, okay, so I'm just going to say this now before I forget it for when we come up to her. I get that Cramisha's actually probably skinny, but I've always just pictured her as like a chubster.
Me too. Oh, in chapter 7, like one of my notes is Cramisha doesn't wear heels.
Yeah.
I was like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah, there is literally nothing happening in this chapter. I have no substantial notes for this.
What happened? What happened?
Chapter 7 is literally nothing, just boy issues. And then also one of my notes is no shit, it smells like smoke. It was on fire yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
they just go to school.
That the smell of smoke will get into everything and it'll stick around for a bit.
Yeah. Oh, one of my notes for this is in all caps, snot crying isn't a thing for the last time. Zoe isn't the only person with the nose that runs. Real quick, I said, you know what? Hold on. And then I went and asked my parents. And then my next note is parents agree snot happens when you cry. Like, let me just make sure we're not fucking crazy. I was really upset.
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
Also, and I'm pretty sure that this continues. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it continues for the next 2 books, like main books. But Zoe starts bringing up, my IBS is going to start acting up real bad. And I'm like, she says like about 3 times.
She says it multiple times. And I'm like, this is disgusting. Thank you.
Her what?
IBS.
Her IBS. Her irritable
That's why I
bowel
texted
syndrome.
you saying, if I have to hear about Zoe's bowels one more time, I'm going to shoot myself.
Yeah, she mentioned that like all the stress is going to make her IBS act up.
And I'm like, when did you get that? When did you go to a doctor and
if
get
you're
that?
Gonna add in a character quirk, why that one?
Why that?
And even if she has it, like that's something that the authors can know, but we don't need to know.
We don't need to know that.
I don't need to know that Zoe gets cases of explosive diarrhea.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't like. This is not like this is not good for the story. Like,
but she's a real catch, guys. She's a real catch. Every time she gets stressed, and she's set up for multiple centuries of a stressful life based on her affinities and shit. Fuck, she's a real catch. Well done, Stark. You're gonna deal with explosive diarrhea for the next 500 years.
Yep.
Okay. I can't. And then chapter 9 is the dumbest.
Oh no, we're on chapter 8.
Oh, sorry. Chapter 8 is Shawnee. Why?
Yes, it's twin angst.
Oh
Why
my
the fuck
god.
is Kelowna wearing a vest?
Yeah.
I can't imagine this without thinking of porn. Like, because like he's just wearing like a leather vest and jeans.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I'm like, that's like out of a porn. What are
and
you
then
guys doing?
She goes up to Damien and she's like, was Aaron always a bitch? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And then he's like, wielded. See, you're smart. I'm like, you just defined and wielded as if that's
a word that people don't know.
Even if you don't know the exact definition, you know it contextually. Like when I was little, I didn't know exactly. Like if someone was like, "What's the definition of wielded?" When I was like 7, I would have been like, "I don't know, but I know how to use it in a sentence, and that's the most important thing, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, like most words, if you were like, "What's the definition of this?" It'd take me a minute to be like, "Here's a coherent definition."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, and I think that's most people. But like,
I mean, like,
you know what words mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
like, it means to.
I mean, what's the actual definition of, like, for example, the word tree? Like, what is the definition of tree? I don't know, but I know what a tree is.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're like, because like you're like, you can't use the actual word in the definition. Because you're like, what's a tree? A fucking tree, bitch. Like,
I don't know.
Like, what's a blanket? It's a fucking blanket, motherfucker. Be quiet.
It's a snuggly warm cover thing. Okay.
Well, yeah. Right, but like that's a definition. but you're just like, but that definition's not helpful to me because in your head you're like, but I know what a blanket is. So that's why actually defining words is for other people.
Yeah.
But I don't know what has been. I don't know why I wrote in all caps. It's been 2 days. What the fuck? I don't know what it had been 2 days.
You need to start adding context.
I think it was Shawnee had the thought, fire, light a spark in Damien so that he might get a hard on for someone. And that's what it was.
Yeah, let's skip ahead to let's just forget the plot for like the chronological.
Yeah, let's just talk about this for a minute.
Yes, because later on we meet and because they like we see your news conference and we'll raise you another press conference, type thing.
Which I mean, valid response.
Fair. And reporter guy rocks up and they're like, let's set him and Damien up because he looks gay.
And also, if he's a reporter, he's definitely in his 20s. And Damien's like, what?
Probably also, if he's got that kind of interview, he's definitely at least in his late 20s. Because he's
late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, because he's not going to be getting an interview of that caliber without either being heavily experienced or at least have gone to college. Yeah. And then they generally have to be the shit kicker for a couple years, and then they'll start getting the stupid little bit pieces, and then they start getting the bigger scoops.
Exactly. So it is statutory so hardcore right now.
Yes.
That they're setting Damien up with this guy.
Yeah. But I did the math, right? Okay, so Jack died 2 books ago. Yeah. He died, and then the next day was his funeral. Yeah. And the book ended the night of his funeral.
Yes.
So then the last book started up the morning after.
The 5-day book. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was 5 days, and it's been another day. So it's been literally 7 days since Jack died. 7 days. And they're like, Damien needs to move on. He needs to bone someone else. Like, in the real world, like, a lot of people haven't even had their funeral after 7 days.
Yeah.
Like, in reality, Jack isn't even fucking buried yet, or he just got buried today.
And at least, like, in the United States, if you're young, like, just realistically, because I know it's not the same for vampires, but if you're young and they don't know how you died, or it's kind of, like, iffy, they actually do an autopsy on you. Like, if you're under a certain
age. And that adds an extra couple days, yeah.
Well, like, for someone I know who died, his funeral was a month later, because of how long the autopsy took.
Yeah.
It's because it takes a while because they have to like get all the reports done because they have to like know because the state wants to know how you died.
It's a lot of paperwork.
Well, yeah, because like when you're younger, they like do not trust that you just croaked.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out like if someone deaded you.
I mean, in the situation in which Jack died, I don't think there would have been an autopsy because he fell. No,
I'm not saying that there would have been.
Vampire too.
No. I'm not saying that there would have been.
Can you not?
But my point is that, like, in the real world, people don't forget about people after a week.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
you don't.
How?
Like, I don't know. Like, even though they was only dating like a couple months type thing as well. Like, because they're only dating about 2 months.
Yeah, and most of it's off screen. This is the face of shame. Look at her. Shame her.
But like, it's
so weird.
Even if they'd only been dating a week, you wouldn't be ready to start dating a week later.
Exactly.
Damien also knows that Jack was murdered. It takes you longer than a week to get over the fact that your boyfriend was murdered.
Yep.
To the point where he was almost decapitated. It was gruesome.
And he had to see
and you found his body.
Yeah. This is like years of trauma that they're just like, okay, 7 days.
And it wasn't just them being like, oh, we should set dating up with this guy. No, he was initially flirting with the guy, and then he set up a coffee date. You set up a coffee date for the 1 week anniversary of your boyfriend's murder.
That you're going to get back with in the fucking season 2 of this series.
And just to reiterate, Nefert's just been hanging out for a week at a school when they know she's evil. But so to chapter 8.
Yes.
I just said, like, do you think the narrator knows that Shawnee's black too, or do you think she's just being racist with Kermisha for no reason?
Definitely racist with Kermisha.
And then Rephaim.
With Shawnee, she's from Connecticut.
Yeah.
And that was our issue with the first narrator, though. Okay, the first narrator, apparently they re-recorded like the first 3 books that the first narrator did. But we listened to the original one.
Okay.
And she gave Erin the average American accent, who is from Oklahoma, and she gave Shawnee from Connecticut, rich Connecticut girl, a Southern Belle accent.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was just because she's black.
And then this was like the only time in this book we followed Rephaim.
No.
No. Oh. Another. I think.
Wait, we followed him multiple times before. Yeah.
Not a whole lot happens with him though. It's just him brooding.
He's just like, oh, I'm gonna fix this tree, and then Heath Jr.'s in a pit, like, you're gonna fix me, yay! Like, which him being in a pit makes no fucking sense.
And so,
Raven Rephaim amused me this book because
it did.
Same. He was just a jokester.
Yeah, and then in conclusion, nothing happens in chapter 8, and then chapter 9. Zoe, we're following Zoe. We're gonna do something apparently. The High Council should murder her. And yeah, you do have proof. We all know she's evil. What is going on? Behold the world. Why? You don't need humans. You just need to murder Nefret. Like, why do you need what are you doing?
It was an interesting bit of lore that there's not many vampires in America as concentrated as they are in Europe. But also that just makes sense in general because Europe's a tinier continent. So, of course, in America, they're going to be more spread out, and there's going to be
just
less
like
of them.
The population. Yeah. If you look
it was a cool tidbit, but it's so out of place and like useless.
Like, and can I also just say, like, I know that like it's a meme that Americans don't know anything about the world outside of America type thing, like. I don't know if it's a meme there, but it's a meme in the rest of the world.
Oh, it is. It's a meme here. It's definitely a meme here.
But when Stevie Ray's like, oh, that big landmass, like the big landmass out on its own in the Southern Hemisphere, is that Australia?
I can't. We know where Australia is.
You learned that shit in like 4th grade.
And I'm like, I think we have a pretty probably a pretty distinctive,
You do.
Like, we're the only continent that isn't, like, in any way connected to another continent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, everyone knows what Australia is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. And then I had another rant about the auras thing. But, like, again, nothing really happens other than they're just, like, talking about, they're planning what they're going to do with the humans, and it doesn't really make sense. It's pretty nonsensical.
Yeah, like they just decide they're gonna have a
Antarctica.
And yes, Antarctica does. Yeah, that counts.
Yeah, but also like I wasn't thinking about that because that's just big ice.
Also, there's probably no vampires in Antarctica, so let's say just have a house at night in Antarctica.
There's also almost no humans in Antarctica.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the scientists down there.
I want to go though. It's really pretty down there. I want to go.
And they have penguins.
They do have penguins.
They do.
And then chapter 10 is Shawnee. You didn't know his name was Brian when this started. The scene is an Aphrodite's personality, and I hate this.
Yeah, and then she witnesses Aaron literally stripping for Dallas and fucking
before that happens.
Yes.
Before that happens.
Let's talk about this.
They're like, you know, because she's saying about how grim everyone is when they're preparing dragon's pyre, right? Until Aphrodite comes up and lightens the moon, and she's like, and then it's like, hey, remember when Dragon like did drills, like made you guys do drills on Darius for 3 days straight until Anastasia made him come and go, nah, type thing. I'm just going to bring the message up because where is it? Yeah. Okay. Aphrodite met Darius, and then the next day, Kelowna burst from the ground, so they fucked off.
Yeah.
They came back the next day, and then Anastasia died when they ran away again that night.
Yeah.
When did Dragon have time to drill Darius for 3 days until Anastasia was like, bad Dragon, stop it?
It's a great question.
Well, they didn't add this until after Dragon's Oath, so it doesn't matter.
They don't know their own timeline, obviously.
No, they do, but they don't, and they don't give a shit. Because again, they didn't know that his name was actually Brian until after this.
Yeah.
And then my thing was, my initial note was, this is bad, even bad for like fake flirting. And then in all caps, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, when she starts stripping, I just said, what? I said, she fuck.
Oh, yeah, because previously it's been established that Aaron is no longer going. Or hasn't
happened
yet.
Okay.
Nope.
So
that's way later.
Yes,
that is way later.
Aaron just out of the blue. Shawnee's doing a walk, and then she just randomly hears Dallas and Aaron talking.
Yep.
And yeah, it's like, do you know what happens when water and electricity meet? Lightning. Lightning is what happens.
It doesn't.
It does.
You die.
Yeah. That's how people die.
This is why people drop toasters into the bathtub.
Yeah. Death is what happens.
But yeah, she just apparently Aaron's evil now because she just decides, let's stand in a fountain, a public fountain in the middle of the school, in the middle of a school day, and
get
to nothing but my boots.
She's dressed as a naughty schoolgirl because she's wearing a white shirt and a little tiny mini plaid skirt.
Mm-hmm.
So she's dressed as a naughty schoolgirl already. She went to school planning this. She gets herself wet, bounces so her boobs bounce.
So this scene was disgusting.
And then she takes her top off, and then her bra, and then her skirt, and
then she's just naked except for her shoes.
Yeah, and then she's like, I want that gone too. So she takes her thong off, and she's just wearing boots. And then they fountain in the fountain in the middle of the school day. And
nobody who is shallow and cares about their boots would get their boots wet like that.
Especially when they're Louis Vuitton boots.
Right?
Yeah.
Those are probably like $3,000 boots.
I was really worried about the boots.
Maybe maybe because she like controls water, she just created like a protective like bubble, like water wall around the boots. Maybe.
It's a great question. God, that whole scene was just like, I'm disturbed. But
it was just like, yeah, we've had, you know, like, we only know that Erin's a fucking bitch because everyone's like, wow, Erin's a bitch. And then she's fucking Dallas.
Yep.
And I don't know where that came from. It's just
the twin breakup, I guess. It doesn't make sense though.
I know, but no one turns around that quickly. No one goes, oh, me and my best friend aren't pretending we share a brain anymore. So
yeah, that was like 4 days ago.
Let's go evil. That sounds fun.
One of my favorite notes from this chapter. Oh, sorry, go for it.
It's just Erin knows. It's not like she and she was being a super judgmental bitch to previously to anyone who wasn't, you know, Team Nyx, and then she's just like, oh, me and Shawnee aren't BFFs anymore. I guess fuck Nyx.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite quotes from this chapter is from Kamisha, and it's literally, "They's ass bites." They '(s) ass bites about the red fledglings. They's ass bites. Please tell me what the fuck that means.
I don't know. This is also a bow and arrow holder chapter. There's
Zoe curses in her brain. I made a note of that.
Oh yes, and then I have other fantasy world is fiction, and this fantasy world is reality cliche. Ding. Mm-hmm. That's written down. My summary for this is Shawnee creeping on Erin, and then Zoe looking at a tree and being like, I want to fuck a bull.
This also, Stark pulls a tissue out of his pocket, and so I wrote down, look, Stark keeps tissues in his pocket too. Do you think he's Aurochs?
Everyone is Heath. You be a Heath. You be a Heath.
It's my worst fucking
Everyone
nightmare.
Gets to be a Heath.
It's my worst nightmare.
I
really
hate
is.
I was so glad
much.
when he died, and then he was in the next book anyway.
They didn't.
We had one book without Heath,
and it was the best book. It was Awakened, right? That was without Heath.
Yeah. Although the book without Heath, is that the book that he came back in, at the very end?
Awakened, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of it, we were standing, and then it happened, and we were like, no.
That was the first stream that I joined in. Because we were like, we stand.
Yeah, because we were a little tipsy, and we were like, we stand, and then it ended. We were like, we don't stand. No, stop.
You had us there for 2 chapters.
Yeah, for a solid chapter, we were like, yay. And yeah, bad. Chapter 11 is Zoe.
It's hashtag confirmed Martin.
Yeah, Lenovia recap. Why is he talking like that? He's not black anymore. And
word for word recap of the novella.
Yep. Yeah. Also, he's a consort.
Not a mate.
Yeah.
Remember your in-law, people. Again, it ain't even that hard. Just if you don't even have to have any fancy equipment. Even if you just had a pen and paper, you just have
sticky note. That's all it is.
This term equals this. This term equals this. This term equals this, and you just stick to it.
Yep.
Kelowna.
Yeah, that was all of chapter 11. That was it.
Chapter 12 is Kelowna.
Yep.
Erebus is here.
Erebus. Yeah, and they're brothers. I didn't know this.
We find out more about their relationship in his
novella.
But this is actually revealed in a way that's cool, and I was like, "Aw!"
Erebus just shows up and is like, "Hello, brother," and you're like, "Huh?"
Yeah, what? You're like, "Ooh,
that's some tea."
It's done Vampire Diaries style, where it's a Damon intro where he's just like, "Hello, brother," and you're like, "Oh no!" And it's that's fun. I liked it.
Yeah, and I actually think that they did have this planned because, it was mentioned previously, that Kelowna did look a lot like the
Erebus.
Yeah,
yep.
Erebus. black of wing instead of gold of wing.
Yeah. So, and even if they didn't, it seems like they did. I don't know how much faith I have in them, but also this part, I stand.
Yeah.
I stand the entrance.
Like Kelowna's stuff, I'm not mad about most things that happen with Kelowna this book.
Well,
Kelowna becomes a very good character.
It's kind of like when there was a girl ghost following around Rafam, and then it's just revealed that it's Nyx, and we don't have to talk about it. And you're just like, ooh, that's interesting. And then we leave it, and it's like, that's fun. I like it. And this was interesting because, like, we see Erebus, but then we don't start following Erebus yet.
Oh God! Did he start following Erebus?
No. He does make more cameos though.
That's good. That's fine.
I'm fine with that.
And like with very similar vibey stuff happening.
Yeah, because like we don't need to follow everyone who rocks up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just brother angst.
And then also, there's a dick measuring contest, which like wasn't the greatest. But then we can't get into Nyx's temple.
They're fighting over Nyx.
You'll also really understand the dick measuring contest when we get to the.
Oh no, but like also
Nyx a whore. No, like honestly, there's a reason why Nyx and Nyx loves Zoe so much.
But the other thing that happens is Kelowna can't get it. Well, that's okay. There are a couple things. One, it's not spelled out to us why Kelowna got, not necessarily spelled out for us, but like you start getting hints, right? So like you're sitting there kind of theorizing. You're like, okay, so she was doing them both, I think. And then like, so like you're starting to theorize, but you're not explicitly told, which is good. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We stand. And then he can't get into Nyx's temple. And they don't tell you explicitly that Aphrodite can't see that it's a stone door for Kelowna.
Yeah.
They just let you infer it because they show you. Because she's like, you're weird. And then she can get in.
Why can't you
struggling
to open a fucking door, and then Aphrodite just pulls the door open, and she just looks at me, she's like, you're a fucking weirdo. Why? Like, I don't get it. Bye.
So you, the audience, know that he can't get in.
Yep.
But she doesn't know, and you know that she doesn't know. And they just want you to know that.
Yeah,
and
from her perspective, he's just struggling to open a door that has no lock. Like, that's all she's saying.
Moreover, they keep him in character because he doesn't tell her. We stan. It was good. Most of this, other than like, and you know what, the cheesy angst, it's like, it in the universe, it gets justified. So this whole sequence wasn't bad. And it was... And there were a lot of things done well.
And then they ruin it with Heath Jr. crawling out of a hole in the ground. And being like, Zoe. Like, I'm like, shut up. Please.
And then we're just watching the main plot from the sidelines.
Yes. We watch Kelowna be introduced as the new warrior and protector. But he does not claim the Sons of Erebus, which I think is also nice.
But the bright... Yes, it was. But the bright side... is that we don't have to rewatch this.
Yeah.
No.
And we didn't have to watch her cast a damn circle. It took us 10 books.
Yeah, it just happened.
But we didn't have to watch this circle.
Twice in like 2 chapters later in the book. So
but we didn't have to watch this circle.
Yeah, so fucking thank God. They know that we know something at this point.
So chapter 13,
Zoe. And so it's the interview, isn't it?
Well, real quick, Zoe's like first inkling that Aaron is evil is she's like, Aaron didn't cry at Dragon's funeral. And here's the thing. Like, if one of my professors died, it would heavily depend on my relationship with them, whether or not I'd cry.
Because she probably wouldn't take his... I don't know if she took his classes.
I mean, no, but Dragon, he was an ally to them. They did have... I mean, Erin and Shawnee more tangentially, but like and that's the weird thing. Like, I don't like what they've done with Erin in this book, and even the last one. Like, she was very compassionate when Anastasia died to Dragon, and yes, her like the twins and Anastasia were close. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a lot of compassion for Dragon when Jack died. There was a lot of compassion when Stevie Ray died. There was a lot of compassion. Yeah. Again, she was a very compassionate person. She could be bitchy, which as all teenage girls can.
Yeah. Right.
she was a rich teenage girl.
But the other thing is that...
And then it's just, she's a heartless bitch. Just all of a sudden.
Out of nowhere.
Well, here's the thing about that. Realistically, after all this trauma, it would actually make sense that a teenager would start to shut down.
Yeah.
And would be like out of compassion and out of fucks to give. That's actually kind of makes sense. And the other thing too...
That's not how they approached it though.
No, it's not. But this is the thing. This is another situation where the cast introduces like a concept that would work, but they don't do it because they're morons. And the other thing is that this doesn't read like something that works because, like, let me just be real for a second. You're not required to cry at any funeral, no matter what.
Yep.
Everybody grieves differently, especially in public. Like, it doesn't matter whose funeral it is, whether it's your kid's funeral, your dad's funeral, or somebody that you met a week ago. If you don't cry in public, it's not a reflection of you. Everybody handles these things differently.
Yeah, some people shut down.
And the idea that you need to sob in public to prove that you're a good person is fucking dumb.
Yeah. I think, because I know that, like, in the last book, when Shawnee and Aaron had their fight, Shawnee was like, you didn't even care when Jack died. And I was like, yeah, she fucking did.
Yeah, she did.
She's like, no, I did cry. And then we went shopping, remember? And then we had fun. And then I was like, well, Jack, who? And it's like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
When did you go shopping?
Yep.
We were there. You did not go shopping.
Yep.
But, like, on a side note, even if they did go shopping to make themselves feel better, what's wrong with that?
No,
it's a distraction.
I know, but
exactly.
I mean, you're right. It did not happen.
Yeah.
But beyond that as well, like, but it was also implied that the reason she went shopping was because it was like, oh, well, I did my cry and now let's go shop because
because I don't care anymore, and it's like that's not how that works. Because the other thing
that's not how Aaron has been at all in any previous book.
No, exactly. But like also the other thing, I don't know, like I think nobody around them has ever died before. Because the other thing, like about grieving, and especially like right after stuff happens, is that, and I think both of you know this, is that like in those first like weeks, your ups and downs are super freaking all over the place, and they're really
bipolar.
Oh, you are like epically bipolar, and it happens like by the hour where you're like totally weirdly fine, and then you're like super bad, and you're like so like actually being able to like function and go shopping is something you'd probably be able to do.
Yeah,
and then you would be like in a depression pit, and then you'd be like, "Oh, let's party." I don't know why I feel like this, and you're just a fucking mess, and that's how it works.
Yeah,
so,
like the 7 stages of grief, like that. The whole thing is a thing because those are the general state, like, and how each stage presents is often differs from person to person. But but the reason that there's a thing called the 7 stages of grief is because that's a general thing that everyone goes through, and that includes all of those ups and downs as well.
Yeah, because it happens in complicated waves, but they don't handle it that way at all.
Yeah.
No.
And it's just weird.
Yeah, I think it was just like I can't even think of why they decided to do it. Because there's no point to it. Like if one of them leaving, the group had like this big, impact later on, I get it, but it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. They fix it immediately for no reason.
Yeah.
So the whole Aaron plot in the last couple of books has just been it's just like
creating drama for drama's sake.
Yeah, it was just because we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not consistent with Aaron's character that we've seen at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I also just don't buy that Shawnee has been being a bitch for the last 2 years just purely because she was best friends with Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
either.
Because this new Shawnee is a completely different character as well.
Yep.
Well, no, she's not. She's just a different character because she's disconnected from...
She's untwinned. Also, sorry, I'm just going to go right back to chapter 1 now. I'm pretty sure it was chapter 1 or chapter 2, sorry. Because that's when the bonfire happened and Lenobia saw Nicole. I really doubt that a woman at the ripe young age of 284 or whatever the fuck she is would also have the thought process of, she was one of the kids who died and then undied.
Yep.
Lenobia does not think the word undied ever. Every time Zoe says undied, Lenobia cringes and her faith in the next generation dies a little bit.
Yeah.
It was, she died and was resurrected as a red vampire.
Yep.
That's how Lenobia thinks that sentence. That's all.
The writing doesn't change at all between characters.
So chapter 13 is a press conference, and they changed Zoe's high school.
Yeah, I noticed
She now
that.
goes to South Intermediate. Sorry, my neighbor just slammed his door. They now go to South Intermediate High School, apparently. That's where she went when it was like Shiloh something. What was it before?
Oh, Broken Arrow.
It was Broken Arrow. Now she's like, oh my God, even the kids from from South Intermediate High School are going to see this. And I'm like, you didn't go there. You didn't.
Yeah, no.
You didn't go there.
That's what I thought as well. I thought it was Broken Arrow, but then I was like, oh, maybe I'm just, like, I just mixed up the name of where she was from. And
nope.
But also, didn't she also make it very clear in, like, last book or the book before? I'm pretty sure it was last book when they were talking about, setting up a new school as well. And she's like, we can't do that. There's a reason why BA only has one high school. Where the fuck is South Intermediate High School?
I don't know.
Honestly. But the press conference seemed to go well. They're just saying that Nefret's a disgruntled employee and yada, 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 job fair reveal. And it's very jumbled, but Thanatos should have been the only one talking. And Stark, since the accusation was against Stark.
Yeah.
So those two are the only ones that should have spoken.
The whole thing's just odd.
It's odd, yes. But then we get to see it. Oh, are you finding it?
I just want to say it looks like. Okay, so Broken Arrow High School is the highest level of secondary education in the Broken Arrow public school system. They do 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. South Intermediate High School is, I'm guessing, their middle school. Up to grade 9.
That's so weird.
Is it?
That's so weird.
I
didn't even know they were based on real schools, not even gonna lie. Because I wouldn't have made them real
every
schools.
Every location in this book is
well,
a real
I figured
school.
like Utica or Utica Square. I figured that was real. Like I figured that stuff was real, but
no, even all of the stores, even all of the stores that they mention are real.
Yeah,
I mean, props, I guess, but like
I'm gonna say Stray Cats exists.
So like the Rosieverse, Silverstone's not real, obviously.
Yeah, Stray Cats is a pet adoption agency in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
You're
and I'm gonna see if it's run by nuns. Give me a minute. I'm gonna die if it's run by the same Benedictine nuns.
That is a really weird line, honestly.
You're crossing a line by bringing in real companies and having the real companies have representation. Like they
yeah, like
they have any legal right to sue you on that, but like you're still crossing a very, very fine
going
line.
to real stores in a real place isn't a thing.
No.
Like that's fine.
Especially franchises, like going to Starbucks, like
yeah, like that's fine. Or going to somewhere that's like iconic to a location.
Yeah,
like that's normal. Like if that's where the thing is, but
bringing in a real charity
that is weird.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I just want to say if it's run by nuns.
Like, I think my personal policy is if it's a small town, is it?
Yes.
Is it the Benedictine Abbey? The
Benedictine sisters run Stray Cats.
That is wild that they actually did that.
That's a very...
Because they really, like, slander the nuns.
Yeah, they do.
That's
why I'm saying, I'm like, I don't know if they would have a right to sue on that. I like legally, I
have
no idea, but
maybe not.
It's still
that
weird.
could have been a random website that like maybe it was like based
fan made.
Yeah, let me just. I don't actually know, but. The Saint Benedictine nuns are the nuns in Tulsa though as well. But I imagine if they went to that effort, they probably were actually not they probably are nuns.
Yeah.
That do it.
That's so weird.
That is super weird. Cause like for writing my policies, like if it's a small town, I just make it up because I think it's, as someone who grew up in a small town, I think it's kind of invasive in a weird way to use a real small town. Like Forks, Washington is like a real town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that said though, it did help their tourism industry.
Yeah.
And actually also they filmed all the movies there, so it actually really helped their economy.
Yeah, and like Vampire Diaries is set in a small town in Georgia that revived the entire town.
Yeah, and well, it's set in Mystic Falls, Virginia.
But it's
in
Georgia.
Covington, Georgia.
I know, but like my point is that Mystic Falls is a fake town, but you can still film it in a small, like if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm saying like I make up the small town.
Covington very meta.
I'm saying like I make like the small town from scratch in like the book, not.
And that's what most people do in books that are set in.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird to just like take a small town and use it in a book. Yeah. Like I'm not like for a TV show, they usually use like a whole small town like they did with Covington.
Yeah.
For the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, like they often film in towns and stuff like that, but even the town in the show, while filmed in a real town, is generally a fictitious town.
Exactly. So it's not as though like it's actually Covington.
Yeah. And if they did this for House of Night, they'd have to film it in Tulsa, which I just don't think would. They film stuff in Atlanta. They film Avengers in Atlanta. They film all kinds of different stuff in Atlanta. Yeah. But like in a capital city like that, it's very difficult to do because you have to shut down so much.
Also, especially considering, I mean, like they wouldn't have to shut down. Like they'd probably build the interior sets of like the school and stuff like that. Yeah. But all the exteriors of the school would be shot at the private school at which
it's set up. Yeah, because it's actually a real place. They just renamed it.
Yeah, and it's got the exact same history as well. Like they did zero world building.
They'd have to go to however you pronounce Utica is how I'm just gonna pronounce it. Yeah. They'd have to actually go to that, which it sounds like a very major retail place. Very, very.
That's probably why the movies never got off the ground.
Yeah.
No. The story sucks. That's why the movies never got off the ground.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Where were we?
Chapter 14. Neferret watches the press conference and then gets bitched at by the High Council. And I thought that was just so fucking funny.
Well, I was just like, why answer the Skype call? Like,
honestly, though, yeah.
Yeah. But one thing I couldn't deal, though, when they're like, shunned, and then they all just turned their back on. They turned around before they hit end call.
It's so dumb. But like, why answer the Skype? Like, I don't understand it. Like, what are they gonna do? Call you again? Like, what the?
Yeah.
It didn't do anything. And then she called. She's like, "Darkness, come to me." And then he's like, "My heartless one."
And he's like, "I don't give a fuck about you anymore."
He's like, "You need to be more interesting." And then she's like, "Well, I'm upset now." And then
so she wants to make a new vessel, and everything is Zoe's fault.
And then she's like,
"Yes. Like, if you had just waited for Sylvia to get home, bitch, you wouldn't have an imperfect vessel in the first place."
And then we're to Zoe, and then there's gayness, and then Shaylin, and then Shaylin's like, "Ooh, their auras are nice together." And then
I have a note saying Jack died like a week ago.
Yes,
so
perfect. And then Shaylin goes, and then then Aphrodite is like, "What do they do? Make a rainbow?" And then Shaylin's like, "That's such a horrible stereotype."
No, and it is literally their flag that they celebrate. Yes. They celebrate the rainbow.
But real quick, when the reporter walks away, Zoe in her head is like, Damien waved gaily out to him.
Yep.
After the stereotype lecture?
Yep.
Bitch, shut up.
Yeah, over the stereotype lecture that they themselves created and still epically perpetuate.
Mm-hmm.
That was
a lot. Like, for example, if there's a big, like, you know, like when the gay marriage vote thing was happening here, I think it was last year before, I don't know. All of the, you know, say yes campaigns, rainbows everywhere. Yeah. Fucking rainbows. Facebook filters, rainbows.
What it is here too.
That's their symbol.
It's just rainbows everywhere.
It's their symbol. That's just like saying, oh my, like that's just like saying, oh, so she's Christian. Does she wear a cross? That's such an awful stereotype. No, it's not. It's pretty normal for a devout Christian to wear a cross.
Yep.
And
the same way it's, you know, pretty normal for a devout Jewish man to wear a yarmulke or whatever the fuck it is on his head. It's just how it happens.
And then Damien's like, would Jack hate me? And I was like, he should. I'd hate you.
He's been dead a week.
Oh, yeah.
Literally a week. And you have a date on his 1 week death anniversary.
Yeah, no, if somebody's in love with me and you go on a date on my 1 week death anniversary, you can get fucked.
I will haunt your ass so hard. If my boyfriend did that, he would be haunted to no end.
Yeah.
Also, yes, Maggie, you're right. Americans wearing red, white, and blue on especially 4th of July or something like that. How stereotypical. You're right. It's horrible. We should stop doing that, SDA. We should stop wearing red, white, and blue. Ever.
Just like,
yeah, and having an American flag on a flagpole.
Horrible.
It's stereotypical.
It's awful.
It's disgusting.
And then in chapter 15, we were in Grandma, and I said, why the fuck are we following Grandma?
Oh, Aaron, the past chapter, though, I texted you that, too. Past chapter.
Oh, that's why Aaron's not coming back.
Aaron's not coming back, and her aura, it looks like polluted water. But now, chapter 15, she's thinking about Heath Jr., and she smudges, and Nefrit shows up.
Yeah, because Nefrit's going to sacrifice her, except she's not. She's going to kidnap her and be inconvenient, and that's... And then
she should have just killed her. She should have just fucking killed her. There's
no
point.
But no. And then it's just like an elaborate scene where she's like, I'm going to protect myself, and it's just a whole thing. And then Heath Jr. shows up, and he's like, I'm sniffing, and I sniff Nefret, but not the thing, and I feel the magic, and I feel fear, and I have to go tell everybody.
How did he get a car?
It's Nefret's car.
Yes.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, because
remember when she's like, go kill Rafame, here's my keys? He hasn't seen Nefret since then.
He just still has her car. Okay.
Yeah.
Good, because I was like, where the fuck did he get a car from?
Yeah, also, by now there's been at least one, I'm pretty sure there's been at least one thing with Shaylin about, you know, she's just like, I really wish it would rain, and then it rains.
That happened,
but first time I read this book, I was like, she's gonna have a water affinity. Like, just from the first time she just mentioned, I really wish it would rain. And just, like, she kept on harping on about it. Like, the first time she mentioned it, I'm like, she's going to have a water affinity. Before it even started to rain.
Yeah, and Aaron, conveniently at the same time, is like, I'm staying here. I look like polluted water. I'm leaving you. At the same time.
Yeah.
It all happens. Yeah, it's so stupid.
And I also don't get it, because Damien's also already said, you're an oracle, Aphrodite. And she's like, how dare you? How absolutely dare you use the O word on me?
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I don't see what the big deal is. It's kind
of... He's like, it's the same thing. They're pretty interchangeable, yeah. Like...
Then why say it at all, though, at the same time? Like, it's
yeah, honestly, yeah, just keep it...
If that's your point... Yeah, if your point is that the same thing, Damien, then why did you bring it up that she's now an oracle?
Yep.
So then 16.
There was some serious Kelowna shade this chapter, and I was so happy.
Yeah, and then 16 is High Heath Junior High Aphrodite. God damn, I hope she's dead. And then we get
he calls her Zoe.
Oh God!
I just said,
everyone
no,
loses their
I'm
shit.
unhappy. Well, I lost my shit.
I know, but I think though. I mean, I understand why Zoe's a bit like because she knows that he's the only person that called her that. Yeah, and she saw Heath hovering around in Aurochs, a couple nights ago. So I get it, but the way everyone else is just like. It's like it's not really that uncommon a nickname for Zoe.
Exactly.
It's literally the nickname for Zoe. It's the only one.
Yeah.
Like if you have a friend named Zoe and you want to shorten it, you go Zoe.
Yep.
And this shade was at Stark from Kelowna. He just said, "You are young and know little of women," and I was like. The shade. I love Kelowna.
And Stark was so upset. And I'm like, you're 18 years old.
Yeah.
That's all that needs to be said there. You're 18 years old.
And Kelowna's like, what?
You're not
eons old?
Yep, and also Stark still to date that we know of has never dated a woman because Zoe is still a child, therefore she is a girl, not a woman.
Yep. And then chapter 18.
17.
Sorry. Wait, what now?
We're on 17.
Oh, fuck.
Because this is
yeah, that's right.
Eric.
Shaylin. So we're in Shaylin's head, and then because they were just walking to the dorm, and then we just jump to Eric. And then Eric just stares.
And her cute little butt, her tits, her butt. Yeah.
It's very
because
weird,
that's
gross.
how all, I mean...
And yes, it's totally customary for trackers to have hard-ons for their trackies.
Well, that's just.
I'm pretty sure dragons did.
Is that how we have to like? I get the guys are attracted to women, but like when we jump into a guy's head,
is that how we have to show it?
Look, guys, their eyes do flit down a lot. They generally do. But, if Shaylin is going around wearing, apparently she's got decent enough sized boobs and she's wearing a hot pink bra under a white top, what is she expecting to happen?
Yeah, honestly.
Honestly, that's just dumb.
Yeah, you don't do that.
No, you know what that's saying? Hey, everyone, look at my chest.
Yep.
That there is only one reason why a girl wears a sheer white top and anything other than a nude colored bra.
Yep.
It's so people will look.
Yep.
So you can't be offended. And two, if that's the case, if that's how I guess also she, up until a few days ago, she was blind. So maybe not. Maybe she's not used. It could also be she's just not used to guys.
Or maybe she doesn't own a nude bra. There's a lot of things, but it's still like, I could have chosen something that's not.
I would just also like to point out that a lot of people say that they don't read male authors because male authors write men who do this kind of thing where it's like, I was staring at her boobs. Okay. Here's the thing. When female authors write from guy perspectives, this is primarily what they do in a lot of instances.
That's what guys think.
Because they're idiots and they think that this is all that guys think about.
If it's a romance novel.
But that's different.
Yeah.
But like we just said, while guys are, while guys will look down, okay, that's fine.
Half the time it's not even conscious. They just do it.
It's not relevant. It wasn't and also there's a way to do it. Okay, there's a way
it's
to
not
write
creepy
to write in that he's checking her out without just boobs. There's
and
we do it often in Blackwood,
and
there's ways to do it.
Because then a gust of wind or something comes and she almost stacks it, and you're just like, oh no, her cute little butt's about to hit the floor. It's just no, any sane person would go, oh crap, she's falling.
Yeah.
And then he tries to kiss her after he's being weird, and she's just talking about his aura the whole time. To his face, she's like, I should know that pea green can't turn to beach color turquoise. And I'm like,
why would you say that?
I'm like, this is the fucking weirdest thing.
Like,
were you dumb as well as blind? Like,
yeah, like, I get that you were blind, but that generally means, like, a lot of blind people you'll find are actually a lot better at words because they don't have all the other social cues that are mostly visual.
Yep. So they rely on
words and
tone.
Oh,
and
he was calling her she was calling him a misogynist this whole chapter, and I couldn't figure out why.
What did he say again that was misogynistic?
I couldn't figure it out.
He said, I know he mentioned a gynecologist.
Yeah, that was his retort, but I
don't even remember. Said. Hang on, I have it.
You got it?
Yep. Because I have the ebook. What chapter is
I do too. I just don't want to bring
17.
It up.
Chapter 17. Let's go.
Yeah, do you have word search? If you can word search, you can just type in misogynist. And
that's also true.
Come up.
I just could not figure it out. I was like, how did that happen? Because, like, it just jumped to misogynist, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I remember when you said misogynist. I'm like, that
I know he was complaining about the fact that they have less professors than they need right now, which is more reason they should, cancel the whole school. Oh, because he's not
sorry,
I'm just sorry. It was just like the look of utter confusion on your face.
No, because like there's okay, yeah, so I don't know why she calls him a misogynist, but then
give me one. You guys keep talking and I'll find the thing.
I'm there. It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, because what did he say?
He said, teaching isn't easy as you think. There's a bunch of crap that goes on behind the scenes, and that's not counting the battle with darkness that seems to be like never ending, and the annoying fact that professors keep getting killed and more fledglings are getting marked, so we're short staffed. That's what he says, and then she's like, yeah, it must be really inconvenient for you. And then he says, I think that came out wrong, and then she talks about his aura. And then she's like, oh, well, I just need a reality check. Thanks for giving me one. He goes, you're welcome. And then she's like, you don't need to, you're welcome me. I wasn't really thanking you. I was just reminding myself of something. And he says, of what? And she says, of the fact that what the eye can see is not what's actually the most important thing about a person. The most important thing is what's inside. And then he's like, only with you, it's not really hidden at all, right? And she goes, right. He says, I really didn't mean what I said before. I was just venting, oh, this is it. Girls do it all the time. Yeah. That's what it is. And she's like, you're not making it any better by being a misogynist. And he's like, that's bad, right? Like nothing cool like a gynecologist. That's what happens.
But girls do vent all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's not
We're renowned for it.
He's not saying that men are better than women because of it.
He's just saying.
He's just saying girls vent.
Which we do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so confused.
Men generally internalize and women generally externalize. Mm-hmm. Women are generally more social creatures than men.
Yep.
Then
after that, he tries to kiss her, and then Dallas and Aaron are like, hey, you're disgusting. Huh.
And Aaron's just like, why are you such a little fucking tease? Blah, blah, blah. Like, you make him think you're into him, and then you just knock him down. Rah, rah, mm-hmm. And then when Aaron leaves, she's just, oh, fuck, what?
Well, her whole mission was to go find Dallas and Aaron and see what their colors were.
Yeah, no, but like when Aaron, like when they go to leave, Aaron's just like, yeah, it's time, let's go, I'm bored. And Dallas is like, I got something for that. And Aaron's response to that is, and I won't be saying yes, no, I'll just be saying, and then like,
yes. But,
terrible.
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking kill me.
And then Shaylin's like, next time you try to kiss me, make sure I'm saying yes. And it's like, who's going to
be
now
we're getting
may
the
I
affirmative
kiss
consent lecture.
Like, if you're in the moment, it's in the moment. He's not going to be like, can I,
And I'm sorry, look, I'm going to say a solid 25% of books have the, ooh, I tripped. We kissed. That's like solid kiss setup.
Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of this scene, just before, like, they part ways, Shaylin actually ends up saying, like, direct quote, I think you have the potential to become more turquoise green than pea green.
Yep.
And his response is, and that's a good thing? In what world is pea green a better color than turquoise?
Yeah. But also, why does she say things like that?
Yeah, like, that's rude.
Does she not understand social cues? Does she not understand, like, what's okay and what's not okay to say?
She should understand, because that's the only thing she's ever had to go on, because she's been blind.
Yeah.
Maybe she's always done this and just made everyone super uncomfortable, but they were just like, and their response has always just been to just look at her awkwardly, and she's just never seen it.
Who knows? And then chapter 18 is Kelowna seducing Nefret, and we find Grandma.
Funny. Yeah, and oh my god, this chapter was adorable in the internal dialogue.
That's
because it was just him thinking. No, it's 18.
Okay.
He's just talking about Nyx the whole time, and like when he's saying words to Nefret, he's like, "They're true because I mean them to Nyx," and I'm just like,
"Yep."
It was cute.
But then, because he finally accepts, like, I only have one goddess, and like it's Nyx type thing. He can't control darkness anymore.
Yeah, it was cute, because then chapter 19.
Everyone gets the shits with him for it. They're like, how dare you choose good?
Yeah, I know.
They're like, this is very inconvenient right now. And he's like, this is what you wanted. People.
Yeah, and then chapter 19, my first note is, why are we rhyming? And then because he, like, neuters himself, I was like, this better earn Kelowna a blowjob. Because poor Kelowna, he was like, shit, I can't do anything, and I gotta yeet. This is bad.
He's sad, and we find out that Oryx is going to be the key to helping.
Yeah,
which
and then
makes
we
sense.
Jump to Zoe and her having a talk with herself, like, I can't be depressed because that makes me a child. And I was like, that's not how child works.
Up, or the Earth Goddess shows up and is like, then grow the fuck up.
Also, she's fat, but still pretty.
Interesting. I didn't catch that. Because it's supposed to be like, because Nyx is everyone. Nyx is Mary. Nyx is the Native American Earth Goddess. Nyx is everyone.
This one does make more sense, though, that Nyx and Earth Mother are the same person than Nyx and Mary are the same person.
Yeah, it does.
Because at least they're both goddesses. They just presented themselves to the people in different ways.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mary was not a goddess.
Nope, she was a human being.
We had this discussion, I think last stream or the stream before that, but yeah, she's not a goddess. What she is the mother of Jesus. And that's it.
Would that make Kelowna
knocked up by the Holy Spirit?
Would that make Kelowna Jesus baby daddy?
No, because she's not Mary.
Yeah. Yeah, there's too many plot holes. It's not canon. But it is.
All right.
But I wrote Zoe growing balls. It seems fake, but okay. And then they start to plan.
Yeah.
Because she's like, everyone to the tunnels. Spirit, get everyone to the tunnels.
Right. And here's the thing about planning in books. Normally, when you write a thing where people plan, what happens is this. People are like, there's a couple ways you do it. They're like, so then we planned. And then you actually go do the thing, and we don't tell you what the plan is because that's not interesting, because then you know.
Yeah.
And then we sort of give you like a brief, like, we planned, and so this is where we're going. Or we tell you the setup of the plan so that, like, if everybody has to split off, you know where everybody else is, so that you know, like, where our main character is.
And then you come into the plan when everything shits.
Yeah, like,
when everything shits to bed, that's when you come in.
Yeah, like, in this setup, it would be, like, there's usually some key piece of information that's, given to us in advance. And you're like, how is that going to work though? And then the plan starts happening. Like the plan is happening.
Yeah, we have a brief discussion because it's relevant, but then we're like, and then we talked out the rest of it, and then we grabbed like a couple things, and then we had like a heart to heart with like our boyfriend, and then we yeeted.
Yeah,
like
so how this should have gone is like when Aura steps in and goes, I'm the one to do it type thing, and Aphrodite is like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, because they'll like have him in the ground, like with his foot on his neck, like it's very
and then it should have gone to
it's very violent.
Classroom.
It's a lot.
Then it should have just gone straight to the classroom.
Yeah. But no, we have to stand there, form a circle, and now we
beat the shit out of him.
Shaylin has on water affinity out of fucking nowhere.
With its completely obvious setup.
Yeah, and I said, okay, we're forming a circle because it's not House of Night without 15 circles all in detail.
Yes.
Yay.
And then this is when I texted you, SDA, and I was like, here's my notes for this chapter. Fuck off, Heath. Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, Heath.
Fair.
Yeah, fair.
I will say I did enjoy just how much Kelowna, Darius, and Stark just enjoyed beating the shit out of him.
Oh my god, it was great. I loved it.
They didn't even hesitate. They're like, you want us to beat the fuck out of him? Done. Okay,
don't
let's
say
go.
It twice. We're in.
And then they were like, we can kill him. He can be dead. Like right now.
No. And the three of them were like, are you sure? Because we could do it right now.
We can do it.
And Stark was like, I have a bow and arrow holder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's poised and ready. Let's go.
It's not an arrow holder. Like, have you ever like? I think the thing that pisses me off the most, right, is they make a big deal out of using, all of like. Half the time they use like over the top, extravagant, like fancy words. Like, I'm like if I was to read that, they served, pastry that had expanded in heat and this and that with this and like spinach and ricotta cheese stuffed inside and whatever. It's like it's a puff pastry.
Yeah.
Like it's a spinach and ricotta puff pastry.
It's all for word count.
Yeah.
It's all for word count.
Like, but with this, it's
like for dinner.
But then for quiver, they call it an arrow holder, and it's just like, no.
Is it really worth adding that extra one word?
It's not an arrow holder. It's a quiver. And everyone knows when you say he slung his quiver over his shoulders, especially if you're talking about an archer, no one's going to go, what the fuck is a quiver?
Mm-hmm.
And if you do, Google it.
I'm pretty sure anyone who's seen Disney's Robin Hood, which most people see by the age of 5, you know what the fuck a quiver is.
Yep.
Sorry.
They go
extravagant for so many things, and then they say arrow holder, and I'm like, but why?
Yep.
Or sleeveless t-shirt,
otherwise known as a tank top.
Yep.
Which hurt.
So the plan is they're going to surround a huge building and circle again. That's their big plan. Oryx is up there. So, he's like, hey, Nefret, I'm back.
Well, and my note for that was like, and this solves this how?
Because they have to strengthen him so the beast doesn't come out.
We're going to stand in a circle. Oh, I'm fucking riveted.
I also don't understand why they have to circle to send their elements to him. Why can't they
don't. They literally say that they don't have to.
Can you guys just go fight, please?
And also, why do they have to have lit candles to send their elements only when the plot requires the candles? Because then later on, when the red vampires get kicked out of the suite and their candles go out, it's only the other elements that are still there. Don't get it.
I don't know. But it's just like every climax in these books is just, let's stand in a fucking circle. And it's like...
Yeah, every single time.
What?
It's let's stand in a circle while someone else does the work for us. Yeah.
Just somebody punch somebody. Can somebody just go punch Nefret in the face? Like, let's just.
It goes back to the original point. Stark, 3 arrows locked and loaded.
Yeah, like, can you do something different?
You're right that the ebook doesn't have the epilogue in it.
Yeah. That's so weird.
I was very confused because she was like, well, didn't you read the epilogue? And I was like, what epilogue?
It wasn't in there. That's rude. Also, the picture of the PC cast and the picture at the end of the book really creeps me out.
She's creepy.
No, but this one, it's like she's trying to be kind of sexy. Let me see if I... Let me just make this...
Yeah, she is. She's like...
Yeah, I'm gonna do a share screen thing. Okay, let's go with you. It's only a little picture, but that's...
But it's still...
Why?
I don't know.
And
She's
Kristen...
also got a whole slave. PC Cast has a fucking slave, by the way. I'm gonna
Kristen is like no better. Because Kristen's like... And then PC's like...
Give me a second. I'm going to show you this picture of PC Cast, and it's fucking disgusting. As soon as I saw it, I was like, ugh.
They scare me.
That is a... I'll see if I can find a bigger one of this, because it's really, really, really little. Here we go. Okay, let's share my screen again. Application window.
Because word count. Yeah, I know.
It's just...
Oh. Interesting.
And also... wait, no, let's go. There it is. Yeah, that's also the new book.
Disasters.
I'm not excited to read it because I'm sure it's just going to be like the exact same thing that we've been reading.
Disasters.
Yes, it's...
Who's excited for disasters?
All right. Back to plot chapter 21. We're almost done. It's a 25 chapter book. We're almost there. Why is school still in session? Because they have class.
They're like, we have to go to class.
Yeah, I also don't even think we needed this. It could have just been like that. Like we could have just heard that she sent Dallas and Aaron off on tasks.
Like to distract them.
We could have just been told that like this is something where we didn't need to be shown. We could have just been told.
Or you just could have not mentioned it.
They fucked off somewhere. It's totally reasonable.
Yeah, like you don't even have to mention that they're involved at all.
Yeah, although I guess it's just because like they know that and Dallas and Aaron would notice if the rest of them weren't there, so they could have just said that they sent. I wouldn't have cared if there was a sentence saying like
You're right, Maggie. You're completely correct.
I think everything when we're like, why would you say this and show it?
Yeah, why do we have all the recaps? Because...
Like, I think just everything that we're like, why would you...
Just keep clicking on that every time.
I'm just going to leave it there. Yeah, because I think that's just completely relevant to everything. Just because word count. You're right. Yes. Like, you're just completely correct.
I honestly really like that this is a thing
I do, too.
I
love it.
This is a thing.
But he's right. Everything is just because word count.
So then Cramisha gives her a poem, and she's like, is this a spell? And then Cramisha's like, fuck if I know. Bye.
Also, okay, this is more of an audiobook comment than the actual thing, but it was just like, apparently, like, how she says, like, Cramisha's voice changed, the way she enunciated the things changed. It was literally the exact same voice, just like maybe, a quarter octave lower.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
That was how her voice changed. I'm just like, I was hoping that it would be like, just magical voice change, and it would be like, a normal person voice.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things that really pissed me off about this scene.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Cramisha insinuates that Stark's going to be an abusive boyfriend and beat Zoe.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yes.
Because she's like, well, your boyfriend's really controlling. And I literally am like, it's his job. Because he's like, I don't really want to leave Zoe alone. And I'm like, that's his job. That is literally in his job description.
Especially considering, their allies are dropping like flies. Yes. I think it's wise for him to go, I think, I should stick around.
Nefrit wants to torture her.
Exactly. And then also she's like, you're my high priestess. And I'm like, Stevie Ray is your high priestess. You are a red fledgling. Stevie Ray is your high priestess. We need to get this shit straight, because constantly they're like, oh no, Stevie Ray, you need to act like a high priestess. Like, Thanatos in the beginning of this book is literally like, this is what y'all need to fucking do. You need to act like your fucking jobs. All right?
Yeah.
Stevie Ray, you're a high priestess. And Cramisha just completely undermines that. They completely forget that's ever said it. And Cramisha's just like, yeah, Zoe, you're my high priestess. I'm going to tell you everything.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah. No, you're not. She's not a high priestess.
Yeah, because it's like, Zoe, you're not a high priestess, but you need to grow up and you need to, like, figure your shit out. And then also, Stevie Ray, you're an adult vampire. Get it together.
You are a high priestess. She is actually a high priestess.
You are actually a high priestess. Quit deferring to Zoe for everything. Get your fucking shit together. And it was like,
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something I don't think I've ever done before. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Zoe credit.
Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Because when, like, with the abusive,
boyfriend
insinuation, because she was like, oh, he's getting he's being controlling. She's like, he's being protective. It's his job. And she's like, oh yeah, protective. That's exactly what my aunt
said, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt's husband told her, and before he started beating the crap out of her or whatever. And Zoe was just like, let's just drop this, and she never thinks of it again.
Yeah.
Like, she just dismisses it, and then she doesn't like verbally dismiss it and then start thinking about it. She just dismisses it outright,
which is good.
Which is good.
So Zoe gets credit.
And here's the other thing too, is that when Stevie Ray is trying to be more high priestess like let's just ignore the Cramisha thing, they don't have Zoe be a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we stand that.
Yeah.
That's good. And then the other thing is, like, yeah, it's dumb that Cramisha says it, because I'm sorry, if somebody was trying to torture me or murder me, and
I would want my guardian
to protect me,
and my boyfriend,
I would just want my boyfriend.
And my boyfriend,
honestly,
my boyfriend, just hypothetically, like, in general, but also, like, if he was also doubling his, like, mythical warrior thing, was like,
I'd like to just be warrior and guardian.
Yeah, my
did they mention that she was a queen this book? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did, thank God.
No.
But if my boyfriend warrior guardian was like, I'd just like to be in your vicinity at all times so I know you're not dead, I'd be like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but at least until shit calms down. Like, if everything was sweet and nothing bad was happening, I'd be like, you're being a little bit crazy. But when with shit how it is, with Neferite how she is, the fact that Zoe's grandma's missing, Zoe's an emotional wreck as well, which, considering she has affinities for all 5 elements, even though she seems to forget about, the first 4, most of the series. That also, like, Stark needs to be there to ground her if she starts having a fucking breakdown as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And also,
he's the one who got her back after she was shot.
Yeah.
And also, once things calm down, there would also be a grace period where he'd still be allowed to be a little clingy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just in case, shit's been crazy every day for months now. Let's just make sure everything's sweet before
we calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, dumb. Just
he is.
And then that's it. That's the chapter. I'm just reading the rest of the notes, and that's the chapter.
Yeah, that's the chapter.
Me ranting about it. Chapter 22 is Heath Jr. And then he talks to Heath. And I literally wrote down, "Oh, cool, we're talking to my mortal enemy."
But also, like,
fucking hate Heath.
I don't get this because, like, that because they're implying that Heath and Aurochs are two completely different people instead of Heath being a part of Aurochs,
which is how it was set up.
Which is, yeah, pretty much like with Zoe's shattered soul, various incarnations of a previous life just represented different parts of her.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But that also just seemed to be a physical manifestation of her previous things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's still Zoe.
They're all Zoe. And all of Aurochs / Heath's previous incarnations as well. They're all Aurochs / Heath as well.
But now they're Aurochs, not even Heath anymore.
No, apparently
not. Since it builds like that.
Yeah.
It would be Aurochs is Aurochs, and then parts of him are all different things. But I guess since he's a vessel, he's literally just like darkness and Heath. It's like it's two parts. But then I guess all Heath's past lives.
But that said though, in that case then it would be the vessel talking to Heath, not Aurochs talking to Heath. Because what makes Aurochs? Because in that he's like, but I want to be good, I want to try, and Heath's like,
so it would be like the bull talking.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
But it wasn't.
Yeah. It's Heath being like, you gotta protect Zoe, you dumb bitch, and he's like, I'm trying. Like
it just you'll never be me. You're not good enough to be me.
Yeah.
You're just getting by on what I did.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
I don't like Heath.
I don't even.
I like Aurochs more than Heath, but
same.
Yeah, same.
But it's still Heath, so I still hate him.
Yeah,
still my least favorite character.
Yep. And then if we're just planning and like we're just at a depot, like let's do it.
Like I love Kelowna written down because I do now.
We do stand Kelowna. And then chapter 23 is Nefret, Kelowna, the Circle.
First,
Erebus.
I have a note first. Why the fuck does everyone go to school at this house of night? Because they're like, Aurochs is like, can I go to school here? Oh my god. It's like, why? Why would you go to school?
It just makes sense for it to even still be a school. Like, I said this to you. I feel like the High Council would shut down that house at night, just burn it and like disperse all the kids. Because you don't go to a house at night based on where you live. They just pick one for you. So they would just yeet everybody somewhere else.
They would all over the country.
My headphones died, so I just
no.
Give me a second.
Okay. Yeah. They would just yeet them somewhere else.
Yep, they would.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why are you not coming through my headphones?
I don't know.
It's coming through my speakers instead of... Why?
Talk.
Hello.
Talking.
Okay. Let's see if I do this and then...
Talk. Okay.
Hi. My computer, fuck it.
Okay. We're almost done.
Yep. Nefret reveals her evil plan and tortures Sylvia.
Yeah, and then Erebus is like, I am here to help. And then he goes away.
Kelowna's like chilling out the window because he's like ready to catch Grandma. He's like, I'm here. I'm ready. Let's go. And then Erebus is like, I want to help you so we can get you away from this fucking place. And Kelowna's
I haven't had to scold you yet. Do not do shit when I'm vaping. It's rude. Not to inhale it yet. It was just in my mouth. If we'd done that a second later, I would have been dying right now.
It's just... I can't see my hands, but I'm just doing this. Just what are you doing?
Dance while I'm vaping is rude.
That's my new Kelowna dance. I have to do that now all the time.
Sorry, that made me laugh too.
Nefret forgave him, but she wants him to kill Sylvia. So like, and she's like, this is the beginning of the next chapter. She's like, I feel spirit on you. Why do I feel spirit on you? And he's like,
because she has a spirit affinity, and so she's about to be like, spirit, come to me.
No, yeah, it'd be spirit. leave me.
Yeah, she'd be like, yeet from me.
Yeet from me. Oh, God. And then he went all beast, and now it's Zoe.
Right, because she's like, oh no, doesn't she try to murder Rafam?
No, that was way earlier. That was
sorry.
That was when Kelowna was there.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
Rafam
right.
as a bird was just like, hi, Dad.
Oh yeah, that's right. And like,
and Kelowna, and she's like, kill the Rafam bird.
And then, and then Kelowna's like,
no. Kelowna's like, no.
He like body block because he's like, I'm in love with you, and then she's like, and then he's like, and then she's like, you're not evil, and he's like, I suppose not.
How dare I want to protect my son? I guess I'm a bad person.
And she's like, why do you like your kid? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's
yeah,
wrong
that was.
Sorry, that was earlier. Yeah, you're
yes,
right.
but
anyway.
But it was still funny.
Yeah, so yeah, because Erebus just rocks up and he's like, and then Kelowna's like, no, and then he's like, all right, bye.
Yeah, he's like, piss off, bro, I got this shit.
And
yeah.
But then Zoe and everyone go upstairs, and then she calls all 5 elements.
It's like the first time since Mark.
First time.
I know.
Yeah. Like,
one thing I don't get right is how Stevie Ray, Stark, and Shaylin actually got into the apartment in the first place.
Because
they weren't inherently invited.
Exactly. And as soon as they were disinvited, like they're yeeted into the elevator.
Yeah. So they should have gone to go step off the elevator and then just invisible wall.
Yeah, that's what should have happened. But I guess it's more dramatic the other way. And then they show that they remember something that they did previously.
Yeah. Because they remember some things in this book, and it's like, oh, good for you.
Wow.
Look at that. It's almost like,
well done,
you know, there are books before this one. I mean, you don't remember, you can't keep it straight, like, that it's not a mate if it's a consort, but you remembered that Zoe likes cereal, even though you don't know when Count Chocula is actually available. And also, they're like, well, we'll go to the grocery store. It's like in the middle of people being murdered, we have time to like make sure we have Count Chocula around.
Yeah.
When do they have time to stock up on their food there?
They don't.
And when does Aphrodite have time to go lie at a liquor store?
Actually, what they probably do, since there's a lot of red fledglings that are just like barely ever Johnny B and, you know, those people.
They just send them on
errands. They're errand boys. Like, they're
just like, hey, I have a grocery list. And he's like, you know what? This is fucked up, man.
To be fair, they probably do online shopping and have like standard repeat order or something.
I don't think online shopping, like online grocery shopping, was a thing yet.
Oh.
Even in their fucked up timeline, I don't think it was a thing. At least here, it wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One of my notes for this is Stark and Heath aren't friends, and like I don't want them to be friends.
Yeah, they keep on acting like they're friends.
They're like, we're buddies. I'm like, no, you banged the same girl.
Well,
they don't.
Eric moment, remember? It's like, I like you. I don't like you that you're banging Zoe, but I like you, and I like you too. I don't like that you're banging Zoe either. But
we're in love with the same chick, and she's leading us both on. But let's be buds. It's like,
but so
let's bang each other. Like, let's have a circle. Like, honestly, how epic would that would be? Such a power move. Like, just get all the guys together that Zoe was trying to bang, and they're just like, you know what? No, we're gonna go be gay. I know it's not a choice, but
we're choosing it.
But for once, it should be.
Do gay acts on each other, even if we are not gay.
They're like, we're not gay, but we're gonna get really high so that we don't care and watch a lot of porn and make it work.
Yep. Yeah, and so as a bull, Heath Jr. stabs Nefret through the chest. Yeah. Well, he's like morphing out of bull, but he still has like one horn, so he's like unicorn in it, and he like
no, it's over here.
He's half devil horn in it, and he just goes into Nefret's chest, and they both fall off the balcony.
So we could have arrowed her.
Also, Kelowna would have
offers
the fuck out of his leg.
Yeah, Kelowna gets pretty fucked up.
No. Kelowna would have broken Aurochs's leg.
Oh, so at the beginning of the next chapter.
Because sorry. But like when they're
we're there.
Balcony, they send Kelowna out to fly down and catch him. And he catches him like literally just before he's about to hit the pavement.
Oh yeah, by his ankle.
30-story building.
Yeah, and Nefret, like as she's falling, she like hits the building a few times and then goes to the ground and then
dissolves. I don't actually know if it's 30 stories. It might be. It's probably shorter.
She's in a penthouse suite, so it's pretty high.
But even so, like catching him by the leg, like you just rip off his leg.
Wait, what?
Let's have a look. See.
What building is she in? What's it called?
It's the Mayo Hotel. Yeah, no. If he had caught him by the ankle.
Oh, that's a tall. Yeah, that's pretty tall.
If he had caught him by the ankle when he was just about to hit the pavement from the top floor, he at least his joints would like have completely separated.
You'd have a leg.
1, 2,
you'd
3,
have a fucked up leg.
6, 7.
I think all you'd have is a leg.
14, 15.
Like I don't think they realize that. Like
it's at least 16 stories.
Yeah, like if you catch someone when they have fallen that far, it has the same impact as if they had fallen.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter that.
Like it's like if someone jumps out of a plane and you can fly and then you hit them catch them just before they're about to hit the ground, you've killed that person.
Yeah, like it.
I mean, they're gonna die anyway, but you catching them has the same level of impact.
Now that said, like I will suspend. I do have suspension of disbelief, and like I let people catch people. It's fine. Like it's fine with me. You can catch people. I'm okay with that. But, I don't mind. But also, if you're just grabbing him by the leg, my brain is like,
no.
Well, at least we have his leg.
Yeah, like that leg is out of the socket.
Yeah, I'm like, but his leg has been torn off. And that's what happened. Especially if you catch it and like fly away, like his leg is just.
So during the battle,
if you're flying and you're going to catch a falling person, you need to catch them higher up so you have time to catch them and match their speed, and then slowly decrease speed.
Yeah.
That's
so during the battle, how Zoe like helps the fight. She brings out the seer stone. It like turns into like a mirror.
Oh yeah,
and she fights Nefret.
So before the mirror or the window balcony folly thing happens, she remembers Cremutia's spell.
And we show Nefret herself right after she's been raped. And I was like, you know what? That's actually really fucked up, and I don't like it.
And we get to experience it in her diary next book.
Yay.
Like, I was like, I know Nefret's a bitch, but that's ridiculously cruel.
Yeah. And so...
To be fair, Zoe didn't know what the spell did. She just knows.
Even so, like, for the cast, I'm like, this is a YA book.
Yeah.
And that is crazily dark.
Like, also, it wasn't like,
and out of place.
It was a little bit detailed as well. Like, it was describing, like, the bite marks on her boobs, the seeping blood down, all the
between her legs,
down like her eyes and.
Like, I can think of books that I can think about. I can think of books that would be in, and they're very adult books. But in this book, it was so out of place that it actually I was like, holy shit.
It had been. She hinted that she was raped in the first book.
Yeah,
it went a bit too graphic.
And that's fine. And like, I'm not saying like I have a problem with being graphic, but my point is like,
know your audience.
On tone.
Know your audience.
Yeah, be in tone.
Your audience, your YA audience is under 18. They don't need to be reading that.
They proved in like the first chapter of the first book that they didn't know their audience when they started bashing emos and goth.
Honestly,
this is the target audience.
But of course, Stark's magical plan is use that mirror thing on Heath Jr. so that we all can confirm it's Heath. And then she goes into this little thing where she's like, he's my problem, my pain in my ass, my lover, my consort, my forever boyfriend. And I texted her. I was like, oh, I have so many problems and I'm really fucking angry. 1, he was never your lover.
No, you guys never had sex.
Oh, I'm glad we can remember that he's a consort now.
Yeah.
When was he your boyfriend? Like, honestly, they were never actually officially boyfriend or girlfriend in this series thus far. They were before the series, not during the series. So he's not your forever boyfriend. Plus, he fucking died. I think that's a breakup. I think we can consider death as a breakup.
Yes.
I don't remember what my 4th point for you was, SDA, when I texted you all this, but I was fucking pissed.
I don't remember what it was either, but out loud, to her credit, she's just like, my humanity.
Yeah.
Which was dumb, but at least she wasn't like, my forever love.
At least she didn't say all that out loud.
Okay. Yeah. Now, I mentioned to you guys before that, like, I've changed my opinion since the last full novel of how they should have done the Heath is Aurochs reveal.
Yes.
Because I said in the last one that we shouldn't have found out that Heath was Aurochs until she looked through the stone at him.
Yeah.
I think she should have still looked through the stone at him, but instead of her being like, I could see Heath, it was like, I couldn't believe what I saw, and like she didn't actually say it, and this whole book, she kept on thinking back to it, but not actually letting herself think the words Heath is in Aurochs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we should have found
out right now.
Like there should have been a lot more dread. Like it would have been like before she did the spell to make the Seer Stone turn back into the mirror, it should have been like a sense of dread came over me, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Because Stark is literally right there, and like after, because like Heath and him have like a reunion. Heath and Aurochs have like a talk like right there too.
Yeah.
And then Stark's just like goes to Zoe and he hugs her and he's like, we always have love. Always love.
Oh yeah,
I hate this.
Love was in this book too, and I'm like, why?
So many times it was in this book.
Because this is another like one of those meta things that doesn't make sense. Because it's like you're making characters say things from the novellas that they shouldn't be saying.
They shouldn't know that they can say.
I'm so sick of love. Always love.
Yeah, like what?
Makes me sad.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
I copy them.
Yeah, like why? Why is it a thing?
Yeah.
I will say I've got a question. I have my opinion on this.
Kitten. Sorry.
I know. Which were self-identifying as the nerd herd or self-identifying as the army of awesome?
Nerd herd.
Nerd herd.
Worse.
Yeah.
I do think it's the second one.
I'm like, well, at least like
themselves. They didn't like claim the name.
Yeah.
Like, what should we call ourselves? Oh, the army of awesome.
It's very conceited and dumb, but they're also 17. So I'm like, to your credit, I guess.
You know what? I think the nerd herd is worse for me because
it rhymes.
That and then also like they did it because they're morons, you know.
Yeah.
Jenny did it because it's a bad book.
Yeah,
let's adopt it,
but not just because she's an idiot. Like it just like is something that she put in the book, you know. And they call themselves the Army of Awesome, and they just do it, and it's stupid. But this, they do it because they don't know that it's stupid, and they don't know that Zoe doesn't know not to call them that.
Yeah, and it's not.
I guess that's fair.
So that's why it bothers me more.
That's fair.
And that's why it upsets me.
Yeah,
so, what is the epilogue?
It's just like
so. The epilogue is the open house
job fair thing.
Job fair charity street cat thing is all happening, and they're like, "Oh, I guess Dallas did a good job. I guess I don't like him, but the place looks nice with the twin lights." Aphrodite is getting drunk.
Cool.
They're selling a lot of cookies, and Grandma's selling a lot of lavender.
Oh, Grandma's just fine now?
Yeah, she's fine now.
Excuse me, what day of the week did all of this? Because it's Saturday. The epilogue is on Saturday.
Even if it happened on Monday, which it didn't, we know it didn't.
She would still have because I mean they slashed her.
Yeah.
Like she.
Yeah, well, she's fine. Fuck it. Be quiet.
In hospital right now.
I'm kidding. Oh, you know I'm kidding.
I know.
But
I know.
I don't.
But you're also right. But we're just supposed to act like everything's fine.
Yeah,
I don't know. And it hurts my head. 2 to 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, Maggie, you're right. You're right. That's definitely.
It was like they just got back to the House of Night and suddenly a job fair.
Actually,
I think it's like a day or two before it was supposed to happen.
I think the Linda ritual, the thing that happened on Wednesday. So this happened on Friday.
This is the day before. Well, it's the morning of technically, because it's at midnight, 1 a.m.
Oh my
they're doing
God. This. No, you're right.
Yeah, so it's the same day. It's that evening.
So, I'm relatively confident that I'm pretty sure.
Maggie said this in jest, but it's correct.
It's like The Sims. Day length is measured in 20 minutes. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Zoe goes over to help Sister Mary Angela with adoption forms for kittens, and we get to about how the twins picked twin calicos, and the twins were a surprise, and this is a surprise too, but it'll be a good one. And then they're like, oh look, there's spiders, and then it ends. Cool. And then we get
addressed next book.
You didn't miss anything because we relive, I think, 50% of that scene in the next one.
Okay, cool, good.
Yay!
I will say, I actually don't think this book should have ended on spiders. I think it should have ended with how the scene ends in, how the initial first scene ends in the next book. Because something bigger than spiders happens. And I think that would have been a better
word count. Yep. I know. I just hate it.
But we have fucking, I'm about to start bitching about the fucking next book before we, the novella.
Yeah, let's save it.
We'll save it.
Keep it deep in your soul and let it out next time.
So next week, though, we have Vampire Academy.
So you get a break.
And then we do Nefrit's book, novella. And then we do the next
whatever
book.
The next one is. Is it revealed next?
Revealed and then redeemed. So yeah.
We're almost done, guys. We only have 2 full-length ones left and 2 novellas left. And then we have the Otherworld series, which is
get to start season 2.
2 books right now, but the third one will probably be out.
We get to do all of them. Yay!
Yeah, the third of season 2 will probably be out by the time that we are there.
Yeah.
Definitely, actually, because it'll probably be November.
September.
It comes out it comes out next month. And if we have 4 full-length books left, that's 2 months. Yeah, it'll be out.
Yay!
And then we're done with House of Night for a year.
Yep.
Not looking forward to it.
After a year of no House of Night, we're gonna be like, no.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward. I'm not looking forward. I'd actually prefer it if the 4th book was about to come out.
Yeah, because then we could just.
We're gonna spend next year dreading it.
Yeah, we're gonna spend a year knowing.
Yes,
knowing what's coming.
Every day.
And then she has the other series that she's coming out with. That's one's already out, isn't it?
Yeah.
The new series.
The Die Sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Die Sister. So that's that. And thank you for hanging out with us.
Yes.
And we'll chat to you guys
end the stream.
We'll hang out with you guys next time. Bye, guys.